for my truck right quick.
Get some ice and keep crystal cold. Yeah, black man, you.
I think he's muted his mic because I was waiting to hear the.
He's busy over there being a black man. He can play saxophone later.
Well, no. If he was going to be truly black, he would be lighting up a big fat blunt.
Oh, dude, like a blunt.
Hey, that's a stereotype, man. I know a bunch of lazy black people.
Dude, if I was to smoke a blunt on the podcast, I'd pass out like a third of the way through that motherfucker. A blunt would knock me on my ass.
And now, from the bowels of the internet, it's the Hate Bit Podcast.
Good day. We thank you for joining us right here on the Hate Bit Podcast. Welcome. I'm Yell Chaos. Joining me as always, the astounding AlphaOmegaSin.
Welcome to the Hate Bit Podcast. We're going to make everything metal blacker than the blackest black times infinity.
The shocking Sainted Magnus.
Ah! Sorry. Yeah, Saint Magnus here. Hello. Time to annoy you motherfuckers again for another fucking week.
And a train.
And a train!
It's live via satellite from the Hate Bit Choo Choo, the Hydrocodone Kid, Silent Rob.
This just in, Wii U's are going for a very low price of $900 on Craigslist if anybody's interested.
Yeah, make sure you meet at the KFC parking lot.
In the back alley.
Ray will show you something in the back of his car.
It's a bit dangerous because it fell off the truck.
There's a small dent right there. Not very good for collector's values anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
I'll knock you $50 off it. That's
there you
$900.
That's very nice of you, Sainted Magnus. I'm glad to know that things are working out for you.
Well,
Anyway,
I've not got a Wii U yet, and I don't get one until next year.
it's a shame. Don't worry. You'll have one soon, and then it'll freeze up on you. So welcome to our show. Got a big show for you today. As you know, we're still in season 2, but this is episode 14, and we're getting closer to the holidays. Not a lot to discuss in terms of news on the news front, at least not as of recording date. So we'll have no problem getting through this, I assure you. Anyway, we're going to start the program, like we usually do, with a bit of a discussion topic and something we like to call the Hate Bit Time Capsule. We're going to take you back just a few years and have a little discussion and maybe a debate about the former, most recent golden age of video games, the years 2005 through 2008. A great time when in the times when all these consoles were brought to us, and it seemed like the this generation in the video game industry would have nowhere to go but up. And it turns out, well, you know how it turned out. But to get the ball rolling, the guy who's really nostalgic, and I hope he's ready, AlphaOmegaSin, can you please be nostalgic about 2005 through 2008?
Oh, sure, I can be nostalgic. Let's go back to a better time, everybody. Allow me to take you on a little boat and we sail down a river where people still had some fucking money. Oh. And corporations weren't just trying to churn out the same exact fucking thing over and over again, just reskinned. And then assholes were still buying it and saying, wow, how great. Yes, it was a very good time for all of us. We were coming off of one of the best console generations ever. In general, with the PS2 to GameCube and the Xbox, and console life cycle was just absolutely booming. And then we got to have the Xbox 360, the PS3, the Nintendo Wii. Everything seems so bright, new, happy, wonderful. Just where did it all go wrong? That's the best question: is where did it all go wrong?
Oh, dude, I totally remember it, dude. I remember when the 360 was first coming out. Well, I worked at GameStop. So I got to experience all that shit firsthand. Like when the very first Blu-ray hit the shelves, we got them first at GameStop, and I opened one up.
And you had to decide between the Blu-ray or the HD DVD?
Well, I knew what the answer to that was going to be immediately, so I didn't even bother. So I used to actually tell people, just buy Blu-ray. But no, I remember getting the Blu-ray out of the box and hearing that they were scratch proof, so I opened one up and took my keys and was like trying to scratch the fuck out of it. So we were passing it around the store trying to scratch them and shit, and they're pretty scratch resistant, I gotta be honest. But like, I remember that shit. I remember seeing King Kong, the demo kiosk for King Kong on the 360, and thinking like, wow, this is fucking crazy.
Oh.
Like, it's just blowing my mind, that fucking game. Then you get the game and it's like 2.5 hours long, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, that game's fucking short as fuck.
God damn it.
Dude,
God
I remember
damn it.
being blown away when I saw Dead Rising for the first time.
Oh, dude, all those zombies on the screen, dude, that was just
Yeah.
craziness. I remember when that game first came out, I was just like, am I playing this game wrong? Because it was like hard as fuck, and it was like you couldn't figure out, like, the time limit was kicking your fucking ass all over the place. But
And save stations were just like, oh, you want to save your game? Oh, no. Wait, you don't have a high-def TV? Guess you won't be reading anything.
one save slot, so if you save it where you can't reach a time limit in time, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked. That game was hardcore, dude. But yeah, I remember all that shit, dude. Because I got all the systems first. I got my PS3 on launch day. I could have got like $5,000. Somebody offered me like $5,000 for it, and I kept it. I was like, fuck that. I want the PS3. So I kept it, played it, and enjoyed it. So
You could have bought 5 more.
I know, but
It's
I
still the
wanted
original
it.
one.
I wanted it, dude. I could not part with it. It was too cool.
See, it's just like I said in the last podcast. If we could ever just go back in time, meet up with our former selves, and just be like, you fucking simpleton, do it.
I would
Do
rather
it. You're
play-
not making the right choice.
I instead of doing that, I just played Resistance for like 4 months until something decent came out on it to actually play.
Dude, you know what's so sad about the PS3 launch? One fucking game. I still don't understand why nobody's played this. Seriously, folks, if you are listening and you are a fan of RPGs, just take my fucking word for it. Folklore. It's a first-party Sony game, which for whatever reason, it's like they didn't want people to know it existed. There was even demos of the fucking game, and it's amazing.
Yeah, dude, that's a really good one, dude. Like, people don't ever talk about. It's really
No, they don't. It had like a crazy ass fucking setting. Like graphically, it still holds up now. It's just got like a real unique art style. Like if you see it, like it looks very realistic. But I'm talking like the monster designs, just the way that the world looks in general. Like it looks very trippy and hazy looking. That sounds kind of strange, but if you see the game running, you'll kind of get what I mean. Like it seems like you're tripping just a little bit, and you're in like some European setting and everything. But it's very fucking badass and just one of those niche titles that got no love.
It's a shame because it is a nice looking game.
Oh yeah.
And, well, it's also happened probably because this was a time way back when they were making video games.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh,
Way
yeah.
back then, you remember that?
I do, just about.
Long time ago.
I don't remember.
You know?
I've been
not
stoned
remember.
since then.
Yeah, I'm fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I've got a Xbox 360 launch story which was quite funny. I used to work for Game, which is like the UK version of GameStop. And
That must have been terrible.
It was actually. It was. And the Xbox 360 had just been launched. Well, we got these demo units where they were just like a fake console. It was just a shell with weights inside to give you an idea of what it was like. And my manager walked down with it in his hands with a shop full of bloody customers looking to buy this 360. And he says, yeah, I've just brought this 360 down. It looks really cool. And what he did, he pretended to drop it and dropped on the floor. The whole shop just went silent. And they were all like, ah, he just dropped a 360.
That's okay. It was probably broken before he dropped it anyway. So, yeah.
It was a fake one, but it was just funny as hell. Just seeing all their faces, like, what the hell?
It's really
it's red ringing. Oh no, I did that before we dropped it.
I just remember we had 50 Xbox 360s in for the launch, and I'd guarantee about 30 of them came back because they were all red ringed or the power supplies went boom. It was quite comical.
You know what's strange though? Like the 360, despite like all the fucking cracks about it, I gave Microsoft so much credit like the first couple years that it launched because compare its launch to the regular Xbox launch, it's like they were hitting everything right on the head. You know, they had like exclusives out the ass. You know, their first party stuff was doing pretty good, and like, you know, they just learned from all their mistakes seemingly and had a really good system right out the fucking gate.
I don't know. They did have Perfect Dark Zero there at launch though.
Oh, see, we pretend that doesn't exist because that's like, that's
the only thing
it's
that
such a
lets me
shame.
sleep, you know?
Dude, I was so excited for that. I was so excited, and then I got my hands on. I'm like, man, one player is really rubbish. That's okay. I'll just play in multiplayer because that'll be cool, right? No, no, the multiplayer is just as shit. I don't know how you go from being like the reason why console first-person shooters are actually relevant to blah. Like,
Dude, Rare went full retard, dude.
yeah,
Rare went full
they
retard.
really did. They were like
You
180.
never
Fuck
go
that.
full retard.
You never go full retard, dude. And it's
No,
totally
they
ridiculous.
oh they did. They just fucking OD'd on it. But it is really fucking weird to think about. You know, every fucking year after like between 2005 2008ish, it just I don't get what the fuck happened. Like, how were things so good? You know, and
Call of Duty happened, dude.
yeah.
I really think that's what it is.
I
Call of
don't think
Duty.
so. I think
Call
one
of Duty
thing that I
generation.
I think one thing that really happened, and you can blame it on a number of things, but I think one thing that really did it was the release of the Wii. And I'm not going to blame the Wii as a console, but I will blame the Wii in terms of its popularity. Because suddenly, well, Microsoft and Sony have to do that too, and they spent millions trying to appeal to an audience that really didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Microsoft seemed to just stop giving a shit after like the Kinect didn't take off the way that they wanted it to. Like, they shifted their focus so fucking hard, and Sony, you know, they basically were like, all right, so we got the Wii remote with a ball. Cool. All right.
That's what I
And we
mean, dude. It's
still
like the PlayStation Move and the Kinect were competing for like the biggest failure.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I can't fucking understand that. Like, I don't mind if, like, you know, it's built into the system and all that shit, but it's like, what were you really bringing to the table? You know, and Sony kept with that same ass fucking camera. Like, why would you stay with that camera that had like the worst quality ever? Like, it was on par with the PS2 camera. It made no fucking sense.
Well, I've never been playing a game and been like, wow, this game's fun, but I wish it didn't have a controller.
I always want to just get out of my chair from my comfort zone and move around like an asshole and trip all over my shit. That sounds cool.
That sounds fun to me.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine being in that meeting when they got that design? Like, what's this here? He goes, well, it's you know, you do that thing and you waggle it. Well, what's with this? He goes, oh, you know, the kids, they like ice cream, and does it look like ice cream to you? We'll sell a million.
And they just nod. They're like, kind of, yeah.
The kids like ice cream. They're fat now. That's right. This is a great idea, and this will help them exercise. Well, yes, we're being very responsible.
Hey Rob,
and then they just become a gigantic taco shitting ice cream. Amazing.
Hey Rob, did
the
you?
Thing is, like,
oh, go on.
I was gonna say, like, Cal's brought up the Wii. I would have to say one thing I would attribute to the Wii is its marketing, which really fucking like shifted a lot of stuff around. You know, it became less about like trying to get those particular gamers hard-earned buck to trying to get everybody's hard-earned dollar. But to do that, you pretty much have to change up a lot of shit. And yeah, that doesn't work so well when you have to water down the product to appeal to everybody, because not everybody is going to like everything.
Oh, yeah. You get one old lady on a balance board in the fucking commercials, and every old lady has to have one now, man.
Oh, yeah, and make that shit sold out, and then all of a sudden, hot ticket item, everybody bought it, and after they all bought it, they're like, but it came with Wii Sports. You mean I have to buy other games? No, I'm good.
I know.
Yeah, that was actually something that I found interesting when they were talking about the Wii U sales projections. You know, how it was the debut week was going to be much bigger than the Wii. Yeah, no one bought any fucking software for the Wii. Everyone got Wii Sports, and the end.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it, because the first week my friend had his Wii, all he played was Wii Sports. And I just remember some of the pissed up games that we used to play with that game. You know, just get absolutely wasted on beers or whatever else we could get our hands on, and just try and do the most stupid fucking bowls while playing bowling. It's quite funny. I remember those days.
I mean, it had a fucking, like, it was a very interesting launch just because of what they were trying to go and accomplish and everything, and it was very new and different. But the thing is, just ran out of fucking steam really fast. You figure the Wii was a really big deal for gaming, but it only had like 2.5, 3 years, and that's it.
Oh, dude, I
And
remember
then
the
it
Wii
just
coming
became a
out.
dried up-
Dude, I remember the Wii coming out and I'm being like, wow, so this can't play DVDs? Fuck this shit. And
Yeah.
then the Wii U comes out and I'm like, I'm fucking playing it the other day. I'm like, wait, so this don't play DVDs? Fuck this shit.
But you know what? The thing that's weird about
Yeah,
it
'cause we
is
know
that
how
if you
relevant
mod it, it
DVDs
does.
are now.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, the Wii U uses a modified fucking Blu-ray. There should be no reason as to why it can't fucking play DVDs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Dude, it's just weird though. Like, okay, modding the Wii, it plays DVDs.
Exactly.
Like,
It can totally do it.
It's just that they choose for it not to. And the thing is, when they first brought it out, they were like, yeah, we're just trying to make a game console, not something that does everything else, like the PS3 and 360. No, we are a game console. And you know what ended up fucking happening afterwards? People were using it as a fucking set-top Netflix box. That's it.
Pretty much it.
That's what it fucking ended up turning into for all the people that aren't really gamers, that they were just so fucking hard up to impress.
Yeah, and then of course they go and throw Skyward Sword at the end of the life cycle.
Dude, and
And
like I said, I've said it a
least
million
without it.
times, if that game came out at launch, the Wii would have been a completely different console.
Well, the Wii did get a Zelda title at launch. It was
It did,
Twilight
but it wasn't
Princess,
Skyward.
It wasn't
didn't
Skyward
use it.
Sword, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't use it.
Sure,
to
it was an unexplained success, but now we're going far past 2008. We're talking about the Depression era.
Oh yeah.
But hey, wait, how appropriate.
What, before we move on, what about the PSP? Because that was
Well, yeah, that's one thing I was saying. Handhelds were just the place to be during this period. I had just the early 2005 gotten a hold of the Nintendo DS Lite, and that changed my perspective on portable gaming forever. Saint Magnus, do you feel the same way about the PSP?
Well, the PSP, I was just coming off the bleeding Game Boy Advance, so it's like, yeah, to actually hold a portable PlayStation, which was, at the time, it was pretty cool because you could play, you could play some really nice titles that came out at launch. I got it at launch, and the 3 titles I picked up was Darkstalkers Chronicles, which was a 2D fighter. There was Wipeout Pulse, no, Pure it was, sorry. And I picked up Need for Speed. And the game that I was playing the most was Wipeout Pure, and it was fantastic.
I remember that game.
I still play it today. It's a fun title.
Well, I had a PSP at launch. I had one of the big ones, and I ended up trading it back in because I didn't like the D-pad on it. So only till later when they released like the slim PSPs, I liked the D-pad on those a lot better.
Yeah. Well, here's a funny story. I traded mine in for a Nintendo DS, and I got the big fat grey DS, and it was just like, what the fuck is this thing? It looked like one of those, those old 90s laptops. I was like, fucking hell, this is huge. But it was just so satisfying. I felt more satisfied playing that at the time. Yeah,
I'd rather my electronics feel heavy and bulky and have, like, if I was to throw this at somebody, it could possibly kill them. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like
you throw the Nintendo DS, you probably get Yo Chaos killing you because he loves his Nintendo DS.
He does indeed.
Hey man, I
Whatever
have to
you
admit,
think,
like,
man. I'll be
DS
honest.
is
I'll be honest.
good.
The DS I could eat for breakfast. It is very light and airy.
Whatever, dude. You could take us all out with that fucking 3DO, dude. Like, you could take us all out.
Oh, dude, I could kill you with a Dreamcast. No. As a matter of fact, I could kill you with an Atari 600.
Oh,
like, I've done
God.
it before, I'll do it again.
Actually, Rob, I could kill you with a memory card, but that's another story for another time.
Dude, I mean, give me some tips here. Jesus.
I know, right? Well, if you go across the throat, it's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So
AlphaOmegaSin. Please go on.
I was just gonna say, like, when it came to handhelds, like, I will always say, like, the DS is like borderline unchallenged. The PSP, while I love it because it's an underdog, it really is. I don't give a shit if anybody's like, yeah, but sales in Japan, no. Sales in Japan mean dick when you see the sales in Japan of the DS. The PSP library is really, really good, has tons of exclusives, some fantastic ports and remakes and everything, but the DS was a fucking monster. Just a
Oh, dude,
goddamn
yeah.
monster that could not be stopped. Even with the fucking iPads and iPhones that we have nowadays, and fucking Ultrabooks and things like that, the DS still has all its games and shit. Granted, you can emulate it, but I'm talking about, uh, things that are supposed to be legitimate and everything. Now, I had gotten I didn't want to get the first DS because if you remember when the DS first came out, it looked like garbage.
A fucking
Like,
waffle iron.
yeah, it was like the ugliest fucking thing I had ever seen, with the exception of that one Atari Lynx, which is fucking horrendous looking, especially when you're holding it and you're like, God, this is real. Ugh.
Yeah, they actually made it.
But the DS Lite, or the DS Lite came around and fixed everything. It was like, oh, okay. So I ended up getting that, and I remember I got I got a fucking package deal pretty much. I got Phoenix Raid, I got Trauma Center, and I got Nintendogs. Oddly enough,
I feel bad.
and
Oh.
I was like, Nintendogs. Well, I'll give it a shot. That game is dumb as fucking hell. Like, I'll just tell you flat out. It's like a Gigapet on steroids, and that's it. And it's not a very interesting one at that. Playing with like a virtual dog isn't interesting because I had a real dog, and he was lazy as fuck, but he was really cute and randomly would hump the table. So that shit's hilarious. They don't do that in Nintendogs. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, the DS is
Somebody
just...
in the homebrew community is like going to make that happen, right?
Dude,
It's
I hope
happening
so. If they do
right
that,
now.
Nintendogs will be a
like
ton more
Nintendo
interesting.
hump.
I just want to have like a mini game where, like, I don't know, a Prego puppy pops out the little litter and everything, and then it eats that bag that they're in. Yummy.
Did you know that Famitsu gave that game a perfect score?
Famitsu also snorts every line ever. Like they could go anywhere, and they're just like, "Is that a line?" All right.
Yeah, Mr. Reagan, come in here, Mr. Reagan. We need to.
Reagan smash it into his.
That's why whenever people quote Famitsu, I'm like, yeah, they really it's outside of Japan. They really don't have much credibility, I gotta say.
No, I can't believe they have any in Japan.
I know.
Yeah, honestly, with stuff like
every cover of Famitsu is like everything wonderful.
Well,
Final Fantasy. If it's a Final Fantasy game, automatic 9.5, fucking 9s all across the board.
It starts at a 9.5, and they find a way to get it up a little higher.
Yeah.
We give it 11 because we like it.
You get 4.75 for final, and the rest for fantasy.
Oh shit.
But just going on, just sticking with the Nintendogs just briefly. I just remember when I got it. I got it with my girlfriend and my best mate, and we were sat in this bloody cafe trying to teach it the fucking names for about 2 hours. Like, we want to call you this. Learn your fucking name, you stupid thing.
Yeah, that was one thing I didn't really fucking understand that. And like, I yelled at the thing. I called it every swear word I could. I was just like, ball sack, fuckwad, dick stick, dick tick. Why won't you answer to anything? I fucking hate you. Are now shit monster hyper dimension fuck. I don't know, spaghetti. So, and it doesn't answer to any of that.
More success with bitch, right?
I could call it ham banana. Didn't think about that.
There's
ham banana. I like that.
Yeah, well, we'll call it ham banana, and then it's just like, what's wrong, Alpha? Or I'm just a dumb dog. I only know things like ball and good and rape. I'm such a good episode. Such a good episode. But yes, Nintendogs. It's dumb. The end.
Yeah, we love dumb games like that.
Oh, but Kirby Canvas Curse. That game was awesome. I like that.
Oh yeah.
I remember
That game
playing.
was trippy.
I remember playing Dragon Ball Z Super Sonic Warriors 2 on the DS. That was fantastic. I got that as a release game. Well, it was one of my first games for that thing.
I gotta watch Dragon Ball Z, man. I just got to. I really never have.
Just stay away from Kai.
Wait, whoa. Hold on. You never watched Dragon Ball Z?
I've never seen it, dude.
When the fuck did you make it to Earth?
I know, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like,
dude,
so many people
Dragon
have
Ball
told
Z,
me.
like, okay, I'll tell you this much. If you're gonna watch it, and anybody who's like listening right now, if you're just like, I was on the same fucking shuttle with Silent Rob and everything when we were making our way to Earth. Here's the thing: if you're gonna watch it, get what is called the Dragon Box. It is pretty much the the exact thing of Dragon Ball Z that you want because it's unedited. It has all the stuff in it. The quality, like visually, looks really nice. It's all cleaned up, and it doesn't cost a whole lot. It's fucking awesome, and it's the only way that you should experience it. If you can't forego the cash, download it. I don't fucking care. I don't run the company. And if you don't feel like doing that, watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged. There you go. That's on YouTube. So
Yeah,
shit's
there's
funny.
too many people telling me it's fucking good. I just have to do it.
Oh,
That's
it's
sweet.
amazing. The movies, honestly, are fucking amazing too, and those don't get a lot of recognition for whatever reason. Everybody just sticks with the series, but the
Well, see,
movies are killer.
that's why I was like, fuck Cowboy Bebop, because I seen the movie and I was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I was
the movie is not all that great. I won't say it's the worst thing ever, but when you come off of what I consider my favorite anime and you watch it, I'm just like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't know how to take it.
like what happened here? But you know, even if you can't dig that, then you just bust out some Outlaw Star and then get all the bitches wet. There you go.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
There you go. There you go. You know what's interesting about this conversation is somewhere in like Indianapolis, there's some kid, just yelling at the computer. What the fuck does this have to do with video games?
It has everything
my
to do with
response
video
is-
games because it came out with some of the best Dragon Ball Z games to date.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is
Yep.
that true? Did it even come out between 2005 and 2008?
Yeah, there was the Tenkaichi series. There was Infinite World. There was Budokai 3. Some of the best Dragon Ball Z games on the PS2.
What were the ones on the DS that had they were like the RPG style ones?
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, I can't remember the names of them because
I forget, but they had like RPG style ones on there. And I'm not talking about like the Legacy of Goku ones on GBA. They like made more after that. On
Yeah.
there. I just
That
can't remember.
final bout, somebody sent me that final bout on the PS1, and that's a fucking piece of shit.
That game
I was like, is this what Dragon Ball Z is? Holy crap.
Dude, my friends were so stoked when they got their hands on that. They're like, "Oh my god, you have to play it!" So I started playing it. I swear, I just looked over them and they're having a blast. And I was like, "I'm not getting this because this is like, nah. Graphically, it looks like shit. Plays just like shit. Fun factor out the goddamn window and into traffic. Like,
I got that in 1999 and it cost me £75 to import
Yeah.
from bloody Japan.
Dude, that shit was so expensive for no reason other than just like it because of the DBZ phase. People didn't give a fuck. They were just like, "Oh, I'll sell a kidney. I'll sell a kidney. I just need it."
Well, I was just
In my
like,
face.
I want a video game for Dragon Ball Z because the UK didn't get that many at all. We didn't get anything until like 2003 is when we started getting a decent haul of blood and Dragon Ball Z goodness. And I just saw Final Bout and it just said 3D Dragon Ball Z game. So I thought, yeah, I'll get that. Boy, was I shocked when I put that in. I was like, who the fuck are these? It was like growing up Gohan, and we didn't really get up to that stage until like 2002. So it was like, oh god, what the
There's
fuck?
definitely possibilities. I mean, people flying around the sky, like punching people in the face and stuff. I mean, it looks pretty sweet. I mean, I don't know why I've never watched it. It's just one of those things. I guess it's just it was too far in by the time I wanted to watch it, so I was like, I don't know where to begin. Like, I don't know where to start.
Well, the good thing about a Dragon Ball Z, you can start it anywhere because you'll instantly pick up the story because they're usually powering up for about 20 minutes before they actually do
Yeah,
do
and the whole
anything.
filler episodes of them just squatting, almost shitting, and just like flaming red or gold. Getting
Alright,
fucking
I'm in.
pumped and ready.
I'm in. Sweet.
But it's a good series. Definitely check out. Like I said, Dragon Box. It's just it's the bee's knees for it. But yeah, since we talked that into there. What the fuck is next on the agenda, Mr. Chaos?
Yeah.
Well, next in the agenda is we wrap up and we say with the coming of 2008, there were proclamations of the video game industry being recession-proof.
Well,
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
So
and
they
that's
said.
where we close the book for today. So
Oh.
join us next week and every week after that to find out how wrong they were, or were they? Anyway, it's time for us to read something in the cunt bag, the 8-bit cunt bag. And this week, the 8-bit cunt bag is brought to us by, hold on a second. Yes, tits.
Yeah!
So get yourself some tits.
Yeah!
New from Nabisco.
Yeah!
But not
let
like
me see.
literally get yourself.
Yeah,
some
don't
tits.
actually get tits.
Yeah, that's a big weight problem. We mean like get some fucking like chicks fun bags and just put your face in them and go and
Yeah, there you
stuff like
go.
Yes.
Everybody
yes.
likes
and
doing
and,
that.
and remember over there at Tits headquarters they say tits because you can't motorboat a personality. All right. Anyway, our first piece of mail comes to us at the YouTube inbox right here on, as I said before, YouTube, and it comes from YouTube user ArchFiend88.
What?
No relation, I hope. He says, "Should we take Old Yeller out back?" He says, "Greetings, guys. Love the podcast and keep up the good work." Well, we thank you. We thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
He says, "I have a question for you." I imagine you would. He says, "While notable games have come out in the past year and a half, they've been far too few and far apart. And this is one of those classic examples of punctuation when you say there, THEY''re in a nosedive. Developers are still trying. It's all fucked up over here. I don't know what happened." He says,
I can't read.
I can't read. It's true. Is it a crime to be illiterate? Is it a crime to gamble on sporting events?
Sometimes.
He says, "And while there are developers still trying, it does not stem the fact that the industry is in a nosedive, regardless of a new console generation. So I ask you this, finally." He says, "Should we as gamers let this generation die out for the good of the whole, meaning kill it, burn it, and hopefully what arises from the ashes will revitalize gaming as a whole?" He goes on to say, "Thanks for your time, and if you'd make it, I'd invest in a Yell Chaos brand car alarm, because nothing screams security more than Yell Chaos yelling, 'Get the fuck away from my car!'" So, we appreciate that, and I guess the answer to your question, I'm not really sure what your question is.
He's basically saying gaming used to be good and now it sucks.
Yeah, is that true?
Well, from what I got, it sounded like we should instigate a video game crash.
Oh, it's gonna instigate itself, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like it's already kind of turning inside out on its own.
It doesn't need any more help.
Yeah, the lesson here is if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Well,
absolutely. And you want to know what? Here, the better fucking lesson, and this is the truth matter, is support all the games that nobody's actually buying that are worth a fuck.
Yeah.
Gaming isn't it does suck relatively bad right now, but that's because the same mountain of bullshit stays at the top of the mountain. And all the really good stuff just seems to sit around at the bottom, just floating about, not getting noticed or anything. Support all that shit. Tell all your friends to support all that shit and get it out there so it does become the next big thing. And, well, we have a better market to enjoy. And all those stupid fucking publishers get to see that those are worth a damn still.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Call of Duty at the moment. Yeah, we're hating on Call of Duty again. It's a price of fucking price. It's all about the fact that Call of Duty is the turd that you just can't flush nowadays.
Oh, yeah. It is. It is.
Yeah, and it's a yearly game. A yearly game. I'm sorry, but and when are they going to eventually just start calling it, Call of Duty 2013, Call of Duty 2014, Call of Duty
exactly.
2015.
Get it going Madden style, dude.
Yeah, I mean they're already there. The only reason that you can come across most people that buy it, the only thing that they say is pretty much the same thing. Well, I bought it because my friends bought it.
Dude, what kills me
I have friends that have STDs. I don't contract them because they did.
Dude, that's what kills me, dude. People buy the game and then they complain about the game. Like, what did you think it was going to be a good original game? Like, what were you expecting?
Dude, this is something that I've come across. I don't know if you guys have come across it, and anybody who's listening at home, please, by all fucking means, share if you've come across this. I see this happen often, are those people that will talk a truckload of shit on Call of Duty franchise, Activision, and then turn around, buy the game, and play it, and be like, yeah, I'm having fun with it. And then when they're around those people that hate on it, they're like, oh, yeah, fuck that game. So it's like two different personalities because they're like, yeah, I don't want to actually admit that I played this game a whole lot, but I don't want to be the person who's not playing that game because that's so uncool.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting side note. At the expense of sounding like a fucking old guy, my real question is, if you have friends, why do you have video games?
Good point.
I bought it with my friends. Well, then go hang out with your friends.
They're on Xbox Live. I don't need.
You better go home so we can talk. Yeah. I don't get that.
Yeah, there's no split screen on this shit, bro. Can't do that. Can't have that, bro. And I know somebody's gonna point out, but Alpha, they actually do have a split screen Shut the fuck up. It's the point. It's just a joke. Dildo.
Dude, that was like 5 to 10 people would have commented if you didn't say nothing.
Oh, dude, and they probably already did start commenting and already hit comment, and then it's gonna come up like comment removed, and they're like, yeah, just yeah.
This video's not even on there yet, and they're fucking commenting.
Yeah, because that's what people need to do. They're like, oh, I found a flaw within what they said. I better leave a comment immediately. To try to let everybody
Listen
know
to the
that
rest of the podcast before you comment.
I'm like, here, how about this? Leave this for a comment. I could trip your mom with my fucking dong. Here, go and tell stories about how the fact that bitch couldn't afford the fucking insurance coverage for all the damage afterwards, and I just laughed about it. Ha, like fucking ha.
Party hard.
Also, the guys that you have to type it out like, I must warn the masses about what they have said. This is grammatically incorrect, and by the way, I don't understand satire.
And this is why people are wondering why I've stopped doing the fanning the flames.
Well, you weren't very good at it.
I was actually pretty good, I thought. A lot of people thought I was pretty good. I responded to the fans.
You killed that when you shit your pants over Bayonetta 2.
Oh, no. Fuck Bayonetta 2.
See, dude, that was
like, a tornado. It was like a tornado with fucking grenades and fucking porcupines.
I know. I noticed the video has been taken down. Who took it down?
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I don't know. This is the place to discuss it.
It just disintegrated from all the hate.
I'm pretty sure fans got so mad they all just like they pulled a DBZ. Goku was like, "Give me your power. I'm gonna use Spirit Bomb on that video."
Spirit Bomb, yeah. That was quite funny.
I love how enthusiastic and meaningful that sounded. Like that was quite funny. That tickled my funny bone.
I wasn't actually being sarcastic.
I know. When in reality, he's like, "I'm gonna kill you in your sleep."
Just be like, "Oh man, I'm totally gonna shit inside of your fucking pillowcase, and when you lay down, it'll be in my poop. Fuck you."
Yeah, like I said, now they wonder why I don't do fan in the flames.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah,
because totally the comments are fucking bullshit.
You didn't answer my question. You're a faggot.
Yeah, you didn't answer mine. Why? Don't you love me? No, I don't.
No, not really. No. Our next piece of mail comes to us from Jamal Reynolds, right here at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. He says, "Hello again, Masters of Hate."
Hello there.
Hello.
He says, I, like most gamers, grew up playing a lot of PlayStation RPGs, and I, like most gamers, would really want to see a game like Xenogears remade in HD. Sad face, it's never going to happen. You probably shouldn't type out sad face, you don't have to. He says, but I ask if you could have any RPG remade, which would it be? P.S. You guys kick ass, and I love the podcast. Keep the hate alive.
Oh, man, mine's easy. Fucking Parasite Eve, dude. Remake that shit in HD visuals. Maybe add a little bit to it. I'm happy. I'm a happy person.
I'll second that with Parasite Eve 2, because Parasite Eve 2 was the first introduction of Parasite Eve in the UK territories anyway. So,
yeah.
And I bought that shit for 10 quid, and I loved it.
Oh, dude,
and
like Parasite Eve.
That's why I like them on this podcast. You guys have good taste.
Exactly, dude. That game, dude, like the opera scene, everybody bursts into flames and shit. That shit is crazy. That whole game.
Well, I didn't import it. My mate had it downloaded, and what he did, it took him about 3 months to download the fucking game. But after he burned it to a disc and we were playing it on the PlayStation, chipped PlayStations were the big thing back then, and it was like it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, like it's definitely on a class of its own. That game. There's nothing else quite like it.
Oh. And the whole survival horror with the RPG elements thrown in there were just fantastic.
And it was cool because it was a modern era RPG, which isn't all that common.
It was like the Earthbound of the time.
Yeah.
Man, like the PS1, I argue all the time like PS1 is like my favorite console. It just, it had so many amazing things. Now, in RPGs, like the only thing that is even capable of comparing to the PS1 RPG catalog is SNES, and that's saying something. I mean, you guys said Parasite Eve 1, 2. He said Xenogears. I'm not gonna say Final Fantasy VII because it's too obvious.
That's too cliche, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with oh man, I'm sitting here debating so hard, everybody. I'll go with something that people just don't give enough love or affection to, and that's the Legend of Dragoon.
Nice.
I've got one to throw out there. More original than Parasite Eve.
What's
And
that?
it's a Square game as well. That is Vagrant Story.
I knew you'd say
Yeah.
that, man.
Because
I
that
totally
was
did.
such a
very good.
beautiful fucking game. And I love the whole blacksmith mechanic, you know, where you can make your own weapons and shit. I thought that was a fantastic.
Oh, dude, I love the fucking graphics in that game. They were just amazing.
It holds up. The game holds up. It still looks good when you play it.
Okay, here, I could go and toss this out because I have very fond memories of it, and especially of its sequel, which I do actually like more. Most people don't, but is the original Grandia on PS1.
Oh,
It was also on Sega Saturn, but they never released it domestically. So, but yeah, Grandia just was a very, very fun game. Like, it was a very lighthearted RPG. It graphically looked amazing, had a really fun battle system. Had the voice work wasn't that great in it, but at the time when I was playing it, I was just amazed I was playing something with voice acting. It is a whole fucking ton of fun, and I'll just throw one last one out because it's the first RPG I played on PS1 and still one of my favorites. I even rebought it on PSP. I imported the UK version, and that's Breath of Fire 3.
Ooh.
Oh, dude,
Good choice. Good choice.
Breath of Fire 3 is just it's so good. There's no bad faults in that at all, and you know, it's the whole Breath of Fire series I like, except for Dragon Quarter, which I don't even really consider a fucking Breath of Fire game because it doesn't feel like one at all. But Breath of Fire 3, I consider at the top, with the second game being just a notch below it. But still, yeah, Grandia, Breath of Fire 3, fucking Legend Dragoon. Damn, does the PS1 have a lot of good RPGs?
Dude, fucking killer, man.
That's a good point, that, because the PlayStation 1, it's one of those generation-defining consoles.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
You know, I know we all love the 64 and we all have some form of love for the Saturn, but the PlayStation was just the console of the time.
The PlayStation kicked everybody in their balls.
It did, and
yeah.
it just showed that you can have a console that's grown up.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, the thing is, it pushed everything like that we had grown to know about game consoles out the fucking window and helped reestablish the foundation again.
Mm.
Oh yeah, they helped rid the idea that CD-ROM is stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is quite. It had a stigma to live down after fucking.
Oh, absolutely. After the Turbo CD and the Sega CD and etc.
Yeah.
on down the line, you know, it really, you know, now we're gushing about the PlayStation 1, but it really, you know, did that, especially with its library, its extensive library.
Yeah, when you're a
think
kid, you know,
about
when
it.
you're a kid and you're going to the store to pick out a game, you know, and like the cheapest N64 game was like $40 when you could get two or three PS1 games for that, you know what I mean? And you just end up getting more games for it. You end up just having a better connection to that system. I never had that connection with the N64, not even close.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even close.
And the PS2
PS1
has
had
the
third
best
party.
terrible games ever.
Oh god.
That is fucking so true.
It does. You know, every system has its, you know, shovelware, but really the PlayStation 1 had the best shovelware that money could buy. It's like,
Oh,
you know,
dude, yeah.
there was some software titles just got up and said, "Hey, I'm a piece of shit,"
But he still bought it because it was.
and you bought it anyway.
I did that a few times. I remember there was a $10 PS1 game. It was the only $10 PS1 game there, and it was that PS1 game Tunnel B1 or some shit.
Oh god.
And I
It
bought
was so
that.
terrible. It was so good.
It was something else, man. It was like the first game I ever bought with my money. Like I saved up money. It was $10. I bought it. I was like, fuck.
Oh, just
You know what?
go on.
Oh,
You
I was gonna say there's something that like a gross oversight, and even though this is a very technicality-driven choice of games being remade, but when I say remade, I'm talking like Blaze Blue style fucking 2D sprite graphics, the whole 9 yards. Or just like Ni no Kuni coming out for PS3. If they did this game up like that, I don't know what I'd do other than just fucking explode. But the Lunar 1 and Lunar 2 on PS1. So that's Silver Star complete
dude.
and Eternal Blue complete. Just holy fuck. I know they originate on Sega CD, and I know that they popped up on some other stuff and everything. But just take those games, remake them again for like the gajillionth time. But I'm talking like go all out on consoles. Fucking put them together if you have to, because they do tie into one another. Holy shit! You will have.
I would settle for like a console port of the PSP version. Shit.
Yeah, dude, fucking that one's so amazing. And we were talking about the PSP, and that's one of those games on it that just nobody's ever going to get into it, and it's a fucking shame.
Oh, dude, the first Lunar especially is one of my favorite games of all time, dude. It's a great game.
I wasn't going to mention it because they, like you mentioned, they had the PSP remakes, but I've got one to throw out there, which was kind of in the midst of the Pokemon craze at the time, and that is Jade Cocoon. That was actually it's like a
oh god, I remember that.
It's like a very early Monster Hunter type game where you walk around and you do get the random battle sort of things, but it was actually pretty cool because you can get these monsters and then combine them to make different types of monsters, and you could carry 3 at one time, which was pretty cool. So
did they make 2 of those? Was there 2 of those games?
Yeah, there was one. There was the original on the PS1. And then you finished that, and then you got the PS2 version, which is set about 200 or 300 years later. And the character from the first game is your mentor in the new game, from Jade Cocoon 2. It's really cool.
I have to play them.
Yeah, that was a good little RPG. And
the thing is, the PS1 again, it's just it's got so many good RPGs, it's kind of disturbing. I mean, the PS2 carried on that tradition, but for some reason, I still think that overall, like quality-wise, the PS1 has a trumps.
Oh, I mean, how many times did you guys play through Metal Gear Solid? I mean, I can't even fucking count.
I don't know, but it was I had the game memorized, and I tried going back like a little while ago, like a couple months ago, and I was like, man, I am fucking garbage at this.
Oh, dude, I still remember like the back of my hand. Dude, I could turn it on right now and beat it in like 3 hours. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I did the whole 3 endings thing as well, so...
So did I, and the unlimited ammo bandana and shit.
Yeah, like let's have this bandana just to remember this event. Okay, yeah. The bandana's the staple of fucking part of the whole franchise. But I know they remade it on the GameCube, and yeah, it's like fucking 40 quid, which is stupid.
It's fucking terrible, though. Like, the whole port, man... They ruined it because you can look down the barrel of your gun. It makes it too easy. They changed the movies around. The movies are all different, and it's not as good as the original.
But still,
well,
it's an HD remake.
Yeah.
At least we got the PS1 RPGs out there, and got some random obscure ones fucking mentioned. So that's always good.
That's a good question. Yes. Thank you, Jamal.
I think it was a very good question.
Yeah, have you got any chaos you want to throw out there?
I'm not really a huge RPG fan, but there's one that I think would be really neat. It might not actually even work out, but it's something I would love to see. I would love to see the original Fire Emblem from the Famicom.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
HD remake. It never made it to the States, and I'm very bummed out about that, and I've only been able to experience it via Let's Plays and things like that. I hope to one day. But I think that would be a great fan service. Not only fans of the series, but fans of the RPG genre in general.
Oh, well, I know we like the whole kissing thing. So thank you very much, Jamal. We really enjoyed that question. So
yeah,
thank you for making us fucking think a lot. Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate that. No, I just had to put some hate in there somewhere because we're supposed to be the Hate Bit podcast, not the love kissing.
No, but we can love once in a while. It's good for you.
Oh, is that what they say? Is that what they say? Really?
Well. Usually when they say something, they're lying. So, like the ones that told you smoking reefer was bad for you and stuff.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway,
that's the best experiences of my life.
I know, but what are you going to do? Anyway, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Hate Bit Podcast Cunt Bag. We thank you for your mail, and please drop us a line whenever you can at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to drop it right here at YouTube, and make sure and like us on Facebook, because if you don't like us on Facebook, then you won't know who to go to get a hit stopped on one of your family members. We're the guys to see about that. So... I probably shouldn't have told you that, but hey, what are you gonna do? So and don't forget this week's Hate Bit podcast, Cunt Bag, was brought to you by Tits. So get some in your mouth as soon as you can. Next up on the docket, we got big news coming out of the land of the rising sun. Japan legally prohibits the import of R4 cards. For those of you who don't know, the R4 cards are the flash memory devices that allow you to essentially mod your Nintendo DS Lite. And I think this is now, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just being out of line here, but I think this is a massive overreaching of government. Am I wrong in that?
I agree.
I think
totally agree.
I think it's a massive over exaggeration because in some respects it's just putting all your games on one card.
True, and I think this is something that is not in the best interest of government bodies. I guess they believe that destroying the market for one private enterprise is somehow going to stop piracy altogether. That's a very lofty and unrealistic notion, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you block one access to it, they'll just make something else to hack it. You can't,
Exactly. I mean, but inhibiting, it depends on how you want to place your moral compass. But it really seems like inhibiting private enterprise, that doesn't make any sense. It's like you're going to somehow stop theft by stopping people from selling duffel bags.
Yeah, you should be able to do whatever you want to do with your console. As long as you're not online fucking other people's shit up, do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's key.
Totally is.
Well, it's the whole Hydra thing, though. You cut one head off, there's going to be 2 or 3 more that's going to grow behind it.
I thought that's how centipedes work.
Yeah, that's true. It's worms grow like that as well.
Earthworms like that?
Yeah.
Goes to show that we're scientifically accurate right here on the Hate Bit podcast. But since we're all outraged, does anyone have any experience with the R4 cart?
I very much do.
No, do you? Now, what do you put on your R4 cart there, St. Magnus?
I put emulators on it, actually. I've got.
Which are your favorites?
Well, the Mega Drive emulator is not too bad.
No kidding. You like the Mega Drive?
Well, I like the Mega Drive. I mentioned that last week, and people kind of jumped on my fucking head when I said I like the Mega Drive. Which, yeah, fuck you. But
Shame on you.
shame on them for, dissing on my opinion. But yeah, I put emulators on there. I've put an NES emulator on there, or a Famicom one, which wasn't too bad. It pretty much transferred pretty easily. The Genesis one is a bit skeptical, a bit iffy, but at least it worked. The Super Nintendo one was actually a good one as well, because I put Castlevania 4 on there, and playing that on the bus is just, it's just fantastic.
I would get one. I use my PSP for playing like handheld ROMs, but I would get one for my 3DS. But just the thought of playing ROMs with that 3DS D-pad, that original 3DS D-pad, just gives me nightmares.
Just playing with that original 3DS D-pad is a nightmare.
Oh, it's terrible, man.
I don't mind it that much.
Oh, I fucking hate it. It's so terrible with diagonals. Like trying to do diagonals in games is just a fucking nightmare.
Try playing Street Fighter with that thing.
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
The Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS, it looks nice. Yeah, it plays kind of okay, but when you play trying to do a Hadouken with that bloody thumbstick, it's horrible. And yeah, I know there's a D-pad on there, but they need to switch them. If they switch it round, it'll work better. That's what I think. But who cares what I think? Nobody does. Hey. No, but seriously, that the R4 cards, they're good for what you want them to do. If you want to go and hack games and try and have all your DS collection on one cartridge, it's fantastic. Really good for emulators as well, and homebrews. There's a few homebrews that you can find for it. I know they're out there. I've just not actually found them for myself, but I can safely say they're definitely worth looking into. That's my opinions on the R4 card.
Yes, but I have a feeling that there's, because of how stupid Americans are, I have a feeling that the price is going to skyrocket on eBay.
That's what I was going to say. When is the price gouging going to start on these cards?
It's probably starting as of this podcast a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
God.
Going up like the Wii U prices.
Yeah. Anyway, in other news, speaking of what's going on in Japan, we have news that Sony the great Sony, their credit rating has been downgraded to junk status by Fitch Ratings. Bad news for Sony all around. Earlier in an earlier podcast, we brought up how Sony's credit rating and stock rating was downgraded to almost junk status by Moody's, another financial publication. And things are not good for Sony. Not good at all.
No, it's a shame. That's all I can say. But
That's all.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing much to say because we pretty much covered it in a previous episode. And
I know. I feel like we're kicking a dead horse, but this is just sad, sad news.
I think it's because it just keeps getting worse. Like it's like, oh, did you hear about the bad news? A couple days later, did you hear about the worst news? No. There's actually a couple extra layers to this. Let's just keep going. A couple days after each time it's brought up and everything. But there's actually a quote on here. They said, the downgrade reflects Fitch's belief that meaningful recovery will be slow, given the company's loss of technology leadership in key products, high competition, weak economic conditions in developed markets, and the strong yen. So basically, most of their divisions, from the sounds of things, are kind of up shit creek. And no paddles, no nothing, and they're swimming with their mouth open. Not the best thing you could do up shit creek, I assure you. It's terrible.
well, they're just
They need to put.
It's terrible.
They need to put back touch panels on everything. Like if
Yeah,
they did
because
that,
that's totally working out. That's how you revolutionize is by doing that. And what's
Yeah,
really
maybe they
sad
should
is when they have a
re-release the
good idea.
Walkman too.
Yeah,
I'd buy a
and we
Walkman.
need more mini discs.
Fuck.
More mini disc and overpriced memory cards. That's a super idea. Let's do that.
That's a great idea. They never gave up on that whole mini disc thing. You young kids out there who were listening to what we were talking about earlier, you'll know them as a UMD, but
Just a different shape. It's weird.
it's just so cute, isn't it? And they never gave up on that idea. They're dead.
Now, if Sony can kind of come to terms with the fact that they don't need to be like the be-all, end-all product of something, where you're in a closed bubble, especially when everything has like universal mediums and fucking ports and things like that. When you're in the Sony camp, it's all Sony or nothing. That's it. And that's one of the things that's fucking them over really hard. And where they are excelling at in various divisions pretty much looks like absolute jack shit by comparison to all the ones that are floundering terribly. It's depressing, really.
Well, look at the Vita.
And you know what? Whenever we had talked about the whole last Sony product that you bought, well, I did buy one, a little 3D Sony TV. So I finally bought one after my PS3, PS2, something like that. I don't know. Poor Sony.
Poor Sony. But, it's like the Vita. They've got the stigma of being the worst fucking handheld console release of all time. That, they're not releasing anything for it. And I've suffered at Sony's hands when it comes to things like that. They're full of good ideas, but they release it too early. And I know they're trying to do it to be the market leader, but it just doesn't seem to work out for them anymore.
Here's the thing: being first at a party doesn't mean shit if you're the only one at the party.
Exactly.
it doesn't. I don't understand the thought process of, hey, let's release a game system with no games. How's that?
Yeah,
sound?
that sounds super.
That
Because
sounds
I
brilliant.
love playing nothing.
Yeah, I'd love to have nothing to do with my console. Like every
Yeah. Let's release a machine that doesn't have any games or any way to entertain it, and there's no way for you to fuck it.
I'm out. I'm out.
No, but it's this whole they shot themselves in the foot with this whole Sony exclusive bloody saving media, like these fucking little Vita discs that they've got.
Oh yeah, it's either Sony's way or the highway, man. And them and Apple must fucking like be butt buddies. I'm telling you, like fucking they hang out with each other.
It's like the M3 card.
No, Apple makes money.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Apple just
They're
uses
still
their
both
logo.
assholes, though. They're assholes.
Well, I'm not arguing.
Apple
That's
sue
funny.
you for having rounded edges on your fucking phones for crap.
I know. Like I said, as soon as I get a chance and a new shovel, I'm gonna dig up Steve Jobs and kick him in his old dead balls.
You want to know what's really funny, though? For everybody that can't actually see the news article that we're talking about, there's a big picture that has like a little financial report and everything, pen and a calculator. Well, that calculator has rounded edges. Pretty sure that Sony is going to be, or Sony, haha, Apple's going to be suing the living shit out of that poor calculator company. Rounded edges and rectangular? No, no, no. That's a no-no.
Yeah,
Forever.
don't forget, they've patented a shape. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait until somebody patents the sun. Wait, you looked at it? Give us money. You grew something? Give us money. You feel warm? Give us money. Until somebody patents the circle, and then they'll just be like, oh, yeah, but you have to give us money for all the money that you're getting because, oh, God, I hate the patent office.
I just hate Apple.
we can roll with that right there. But when they patent the actual fruit itself, then we know we're fucked.
Yeah, every time you go to the grocery store, you owe Steve Jobs' corpse a fucking wedge.
I'd like to think that he might just be a little bit above that and be turning in his grave, basically turning at the speed of a fucking blender on frappe. But still, I hope that he is. If not, terrible man, terrible zombie, terrible corpse.
I know.
He's probably still coming up with new designs of the iPod, for fuck's sake.
Well, he doesn't have to. Just add like a bigger number to it, and it sells like 8 gajillion. There you go.
8 gajillion?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like pretty accurate in their numbers. 8 gajillion, I think. Might be 9. I don't know.
Don't forget they might have patented that number.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, and you know what? 8 does have a lot of rounded edges on it.
It
so
does.
Fuck
This
me.
is true. This is true.
Can't use that number anymore. Or 6. Or 5.
Now
That's rounded too. Man,
Can't use
damn.
2 neither. That's got a round on it. That's got a rounded edge.
Oh, well, see, all sorts of fucked. And, oh man, and the letter O. Sesame Street, you're getting sued now. You thought Romney was bad? No, Apple's far worse. They're gonna get you. They're gonna get you.
Oh no, a rhombus with a round edge.
Yes.
So in conclusion, fuck Sony.
So yeah.
In conclusion, Sony are fucked.
Yeah.
You can't say fuck Sony because they fucked themselves, really.
Well, yeah. You know that whole thing about how content doesn't count and stuff, right?
Oh no. I like the whole marketing campaign with PlayStation Plus. Get the instant video game collection. Yeah, for $40 a year, and then if you fucking cancel it, you can't use it. Yeah.
I think the PS4 is going to make or break this company.
I think Sony are going to break the company anyway. Because have you seen the mobile phones they're spitting out recently?
Oh yeah. Well.
And dude, they bought up Ericsson and did nothing with them. Ericsson wasn't even a good company to begin with.
They used to make the Walkman phones, which are pretty useful. They're actually...
Look, the only way that they're going to fucking get their phone division in check and the Vita in check is if they combine the two together. There you go. You fix 2 things with one simple item. That's what people were expecting, a PlayStation phone. Just fucking do it. Make it happen. I'll buy a Vita if it's a fucking phone at the same time and the shit can actually work on Virgin Mobile. Yes, I have like one of the worst phone carriers ever, but it's $20. What the fuck do I care? But seriously, make this fucking shit happen. You'll have my money. I don't give a fuck. Dude, hey, $20 for unlimited text and fucking web. I got a grandfathered account though, so they can't do shit. Unless I try to upgrade.
When anybody ever has Virgin Mobile, they immediately have to defend themselves.
Dude, because it's like the worst thing ever. Like if you go somewhere, it's like, dude, everybody's like, oh, I bet you get no reception like in the woods. I'm like, why would I be in the woods? I'm not hanging out in the woods on my phone. Like, hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm in the woods right now.
I'm in the woods.
Like, I'm looking for stashes of people's weed and everything. It's an adventure.
Damn right.
Just so you know, me and Silent Rob are going to go find a stash of weed in the woods. We're going to go pick a couple buds off of it, and then we're either going to go and dry it or turn a profit. Either or, it doesn't matter because it was an adventure. Fuck
whatever you do, make sure you don't do it in a microwave.
Yeah, don't be like some imbeciles who will remain nameless that decide to microwave their weed to dry it and let this shit catch on fucking fire. Imbecile.
Yeah, Sainted Magnus.
I haven't smoked weed for 6 years.
Oh, well then you're a wuss.
Okay, when he says 6 years, he's like, I'm 6 years, hours. I get them mixed up.
Oh, we can get it. He's in Britain. It's not like he's in Japan or anything.
Oh no, where things get.
Because as you know, there's no weed in Japan. So our Japanese listeners have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, which is hilarious.
Also, we apologize because you're probably really tense.
That's what she
I know,
said.
I know, but that's also the country that has, on the street dispensers for cans of beer and underpants.
Oh yeah. Oh well, used panties, not just like regular ass fucking panties. Used panties. Like the bitch like takes her fucking muff cream and just rubs it on there, and then they just toss it inside the vending machine. She gets like 20 bills for it, and then they make, I don't know how much they charge for that shit, but if anybody knows, type down below how much they legitimately charge, and don't just make up a fucking number for fuck's sake. Be realistic here. If you really know, then do that.
Yeah.
That's fucking vile.
we should have asked
God.
Kid Shoryuken when it was last year.
Trust me, he'll leave a comment down below in the space provided, I assure you.
Yeah, that would
He's doing it right now. Right now he's doing it.
Also, we will eventually have the Hate Bit Muff Cream. So that could be a number of different products. I don't know which direction we're going to go with, but it could either be vile or it could be soothing.
Yeah,
you tell me.
You'll never know. We just have to let those fat cats in marketing put it together, and before you know it, new merchandising.
Merchandising.
Anyway.
I watched it on Netflix the other day, actually.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I love Spaceballs. It's fucking
Yeah, everybody should watch Spaceballs all the time.
At least
and if you don't, dumb.
Exactly.
And the
You're a
choo-choo
train.
agrees. Yeah.
And the choo-choo agrees. And
Yeah, the hate the choo-choo was just like, don't like Spaceballs. Get this motherfucker out of here. To the
it's just balking at the overall idea,
I don't think anybody
idea.
heard you because the choo-choo is going exciting.
Yeah, it's going fucking bonkers.
Man, this is awesome, man. How could we afford such a loud horn on this choo-choo?
I don't know. I don't think the bell works anymore.
I live on the tracks, like right on the tracks. So the train's like going through the house right now and shit. I mean, it's brutal. It's brutal. It gets loud right here.
Yeah, so you guys don't know. You thought we owned a train. We actually own an entire train station, and that's where Silent Rob is stationed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have all kinds of great things right here in the Hate Bit podcast. We're millionaires,
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? It's time. It's big time. Time for a brand new segment called Hate Bit on the Spot. This is where I, Chaos, throw something immediately at one of the other podcast members, and they have to defend themselves immediately. So here we are. Hate Bit on the Spot. AlphaOmegaSin, your favorite cereal. Go!
Cocoa motherfucking Pebbles, without question, because all other cereal is inferior. The end. Oh, wait, I have to defend it. Cocoa Pebbles, because you have to eat it immediately, and I don't give a fuck if that shit gets soggy fast, because you shouldn't be taking long eating cereal. What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you seriously just sit there and look at the fucking bowl? No, you pour in just enough for you to eat and put in a decent amount of milk. Don't put in too much, because then you're just drinking your cereal. Who the fuck drinks their cereal? Retards, that's who. And don't fucking get 1% milk. That's not real milk. Milk is whole milk, okay? You right from the motherfucking cow teat, okay? And fucking Barney Rubble is on there, and if you question Barney Rubble, he will quit fucking his bitch, come down, slap the shit out of you. He'll fucking ride in on Dino, and don't make him call him Bam Bam. Bam Bam is the fucking muscle of the group. And Fred Flintstone, that dude has Alzheimer's. He can't do shit. They just fucking give him a paycheck and just move him right like Weekend at Bernie's. There you go, defended it. Bam.
You now know how to eat cereal.
Yeah, you know how to eat cereal. Get a fucking Ninja Turtle spoon like I did when I was little. Scarf that shit down. Bam.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck
breakfast.
yeah.
Or
Party.
dinner. For if you're actually in my household, Cocoa Pebbles is dinner. Yeah.
That Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles color changing spoon, man. That fucking
Yes.
yes.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! My brain right now is melting because I had those. I also had. Do you remember the ones that were all green? They had the Ninja Turtle head on top, and it looked like they were holding the bowl.
Fuck yes, dude.
Oh my
Fuck
god!
yes.
I am currently if you saw my smile, it's currently stretched across my face and breaking into my ears and everything.
Oh,
I
that's
can
my
taste my
shit.
earwax.
That's my shit, dude. Like I used to eat those when I was a kid, thinking it was like black magic or something, making this shit thing. I was like, I was just changing colors. This is some fucking crazy shit.
It's mysticism at work. I don't give a fuck. Oh man, it's like fucking. Well, no, Harry Potter wasn't around back then. We'll go with some. I don't know. Merlin. Merlin just fucking graced his presence with my cereal. Oh, this is fucking great.
Awesome shit, man.
You haters, you can't see it, but Silent Rob and AlphaOmegaSin right now have massive, huge nostalgia erections right now. It's just
Nostalgia erections. That is an
We're-
awesome
We're
phrase.
balancing our cereal bowls on the fucking tips.
Yeah.
And right now, we're
Guess-
charging tickets for bitches to be able to eat out of those bowls, I assure you.
Yeah, guess what else is changing color?
My skin pigment, because all the blood's rushing to my cock.
They see exactly.
He's
And
feeling faint.
Yeah.
you know, and there's a couple of things that need to be taken into account. Number one, ultras, not ultras. what am I talking about? The Cocoa Pebbles. You know what happens after you eat all the Cocoa Pebbles and the milk is left? That's Ultra Slim Fast. I found out.
Dude, there you go.
Yes, there you go. You know, helping you out in your daily life. And I also realized something. For all the money that Barney Rubble spent, or all the sand shells that he spent to try and get Fred's Cocoa Pebbles, he could have went out and bought his own Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, he could have.
That's true. That's
He
true.
bought like a spaceship and a Santa outfit. You know, it's like, you know,
I used to just watch those commercials being like, just give this motherfucker some pebbles. Like, that's
Yeah,
all it
like,
is.
why do you gotta be a dick?
Yeah, why you
Yeah,
get
like-
asshole about it?
Oh, you can get angry. Like, this dude has been after Pebbles since like the first season of Pee-wee.
Yeah, and you want to know what's fucked up? It also calls into question why the Trix Rabbit hasn't just fucking like spanked or just uppercutted one of those kids. Like you're taking my cereal away from me. I'm on the fucking box. Are you little bastards? No. You were just barely paid to be in here. Fuck you.
You notice the kids always change, so I think he takes them out later on.
Yeah, he probably does. He's just like, I'm gonna shoot you with a fucking elephant shotgun filled with Trix cereal, and it's real stale, so it's just like a fucking shotgun shell. It's amazing. I just keep imagining like the coroner fucking zipping up the bag, and you just see all the cereal like embedded into the kid's skull, and their fucking eyes rolled back.
I'm just
damn.
imagining the rabbit from like Monty Python and biting someone's fucking head.
Wait, that's what happens. He finally does get the tricks.
That's it, man. That's it.
I think that he crushes it up and snorts a fucking line. That's what's going down. Realistically.
That's why his nose is all pink.
he just needs a little bit just to get him through.
just a little. It's like you guys won't even give him a
Give
fucking
me
bowl.
just a little bit there, please.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit.
A little bit.
There's
Yeah.
a whole new meaning to give him a bowl. That's amazing.
Oh,
Oh,
Give-
nice,
man, look at that.
nice.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's some lovely stuff right there. And if you didn't catch what I said earlier, the Hate Bit Podcast, destroying your childhood illusions since 2012. Good stuff.
You're welcome.
You are welcome. Anyway, big news. You know, we don't like to feature a lot of rumors here on the Hate Bit Podcast, but once in a while one floats through that's just too good to pass up. So there's a rumor on the horizon about an Xbox TV set-top box being in progress, being designed or whatever, and to debut pre-holiday 2013. And I asked the experts on the panel, what the fuck does this mean?
Well, basically, it's just a dumbed down, basic, stripped out version of the Xbox where you can just play indie games on it. It's very limited. It's not going to be as good as the original Xbox 360, but it's just, that's all it is. It's just a dumbed down version of the Xbox.
Oh, you think this one will be able to dodge a nuclear meltdown as well?
I don't think so.
It sounds like the worst idea ever, is what it sounds like to me.
Well,
It's just, you know, is that really necessary? Like, you know, to have to fucking string yourself out that much more, like have a console. Make sure you have the console come out and work correctly. Now you have to have two consoles come out and work correctly. You guys couldn't even do one console in the last generation.
Yeah.
So fucking.
Do you want to know?
fuck that.
I've got the perfect comparison. PSP Go.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
That's
that's all
essentially
it
what
is.
it is, man.
It's just a PSP Go.
Here's the thing. Oh, man, I can't wait to go out and get an Xbox 360 that doesn't do everything the one that's out right now does. Wait. Okay, so I could get all those apps? You mean like on my regular Xbox 360? I could stream all that stuff like on my Xbox 360. I can go on Xbox Live and download games and play them like on my Xbox 360. Wow. And the only thing that people say is, yeah, but it could be cheaper. Wow.
What?
So you want something that does less. So yeah, that's like you want a fucking paraplegic. Cool. Way to
Dude,
go.
well, it's like, hey, I'm going to get the new Xbox. Which version you getting? Oh, the crappy one. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
way to go.
the one that crackheads can afford, and that's all.
Yeah, because if you're gonna spend that much money to get a console, you might as well spring for the full fucking package.
Mm.
Yeah, I
know?
mean, they already have like the fucking slimmed down, like, quote unquote arcade model, the one that comes with like next to nothing with it. So you want like a more fucking bunked down one than that? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Are these the people that water down RC Cola?
It's already 98% water.
Man, I love brown water. That's awesome.
That
Brown
fish
water
is
with
so made-
carbonation.
There is one thing I'm worried about with it though. It's the fact that this thing's going to be released. Parents are going to go out and buy it. Not knowing anything about the console, and they're going to buy it for the kids and buy a whole heap of games for it. And then when they open it up on Christmas Day, they can't play any of the games because there's no disc slot on the thing.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for the parent that decides to just like break it open, shove the disc in, and then duct tape it shut. And they're just like, this shit doesn't work. It's like, you don't say. That's something else. Like, they just like lay it in there. They just stop giving a shit. They just put the disc near it, and they're like, read it. I said, read it. Oh, fuck you. You're dumb.
I can't wait till they like totally ditch this idea. That way we can buy up the prototypes and sell them as like the Hate Bit podcast. Piece of shit.
Dude, you want to know what
It's
this
the console
is?
you buy from people you don't like.
This is Microsoft testing the waters again before they release their next Xbox to find out what the fuck they can get away with and what people are dumb enough to buy into.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is their business model right now. Just throw out random shit, see if it does well. If it does, incorporate that into your next big item. Because the only brand that they have going for, like that Microsoft has going for them right now, that's a hot ticket item for the time being at least, is the brand name Xbox. Because that's their only like hip and cool one. So they're like Xbox everything. Apple has a set-top box. Well, we got to have one too. Just call it Xbox something. Yeah, do that. And then we can find out if we can actually give them a really watered down console and make it sell. Because, I mean, Nintendo did it with the Wii. Why can't we? Huh? Yeah, there you go.
Good point.
Well, that's not really the same thing at all. But, yeah, it is kind of sad. I mean, they really can't just come out with, the Windows console. It's like, hey, what'd you get? Windows console, fag.
Yeah,
I said video games, asshole. What did you get?
It is a video game
like, oh, you bought the virus box.
Yeah. None of your friends will like you once you have have that piece of shit. But isn't it amazing how that's Xbox and Microsoft? That's their whole business model. They just spread a rumor and see what happens.
Oh, no.
Honestly,
throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
I've never seen a company so obsessed with what the internet thinks about them. Considering they don't seem to give a shit what anyone thinks about Internet Explorer.
Oh my god.
I'm waiting.
Then what else do we have to do? It sucks. Like, everybody's fucking has told you guys it sucks, but let's include it with everything.
I'd rather them just give up, go to Mozilla, and be like, can we just have Firefox? We've got the money.
Yeah,
just give us Firefox. Seriously, like, we can't get Chrome, so just give us Firefox. Do it. Do it now. Do it.
Just
Paycheck.
do the same thing as Firefox. Like, it ain't that difficult. Quit sucking.
Please, I will give you like $1 if you stop sucking right now.
Or Internet Explorer. Like, I like the pictures that people have made, whereas like Firefox and Chrome are like having this epic battle, and then it shows like Internet Explorer off in the fucking corner eating a big jar of paste. And it's like, yeah, about that. Like, it's pretty bad when like the Opera browser can compete with you, because that shit doesn't even make sense on paper. Like, what the fuck now? Come on, Internet Explorer, IE. Like, I'll give them credit. Like, the newest version of it is a lot better than the old version, but that's like saying I baked something that tastes better than shit. Good for you. I think you made something that doesn't sound like that doesn't taste and smell like you digested it already and left it in a toilet. I'm so proud.
Exactly.
Oh man. Stuff. I was. What's that?
I was just concluding it. Microsoft, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Microsoft Xbox Go. If you want to copy Sony.
Oh, good gracious. We're getting close to halftime. And I want to tell you, I was milling through the I was milling through the letters and everything, and I came across this piece of mail that I thought would make for an interesting talking topic. It came from the Ungamer1 here on YouTube, and he said that apparently there's a lot of a huge amount of unbridled hatred going on for indie games on PC and other platforms. Is this true?
Apparently so. I don't
Because
know
I haven't
why.
heard any of it, and I want to know, am I out of the loop, or I mean, I know a lot of people don't give a shit about indie games, but is there like animosity toward it?
Honestly, I mean, I'm usually on top of things for the most part, which is also I spread my seed. But I haven't really heard like just for indie games in general, like a bunch of animosity, hatred, and just overall people dissing it. I guess.
Well,
So
the only
I
thing I can think of that he means is like indie game developers hating the ways that they have to all the shit they have to go through to make games and stuff, and how hard it is to like get a game up on certain networks and stuff like that. He might be meaning that, but
If I mean, I could really reiterate what he has to say. He talks about in gaming message boards, and people say that indie games are taking away focus from console games. Um, and I feel lost. I've never heard such comments. At least, I mean, I
this sounds like one NeoGaf like fuck this fucking thread or something, where they're just like saying like fuck indie games, and then that's like one thread, and he's like, oh, everybody's saying it.
Yeah,
And
so I guess
Yep.
I guess this is a time when we can actually reach out to the hate bit audience, who we've been calling fags and assholes and fuckers for the last little while here. We can reach to you guys and implore you to leave us a line, drop us a line down below in the comment section and tell us, is there maybe, because we don't know these things sometimes. Maybe it's completely escaped us in one realm or another, because frankly we do have other things to attend to. So maybe it's just going on like on our days off or something. We don't know. So drop us a line. Let us know. Or do you hate indie gaming? And I don't care why you hate indie gaming, but just tell me: is there really hatred toward the indie gaming scene? Because nothing that I've ever really seen, unless you count apathy as animosity, that's where I see it anyway.
I'm sorry, but if anybody tried saying like indie gaming, they hate it because it takes away from console gaming. Here, how about this? Retarded, greedy fucking publishers take away from console gaming.
The consoles they made.
oh yeah, there's indie games you can buy right now for $5. That's fucking way as shit better than fucking Black Ops 2.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
if
that right
anything,
now.
you need those indie games to do well to shift the market back into something pretty fucking decent. That's where you're going to see like a little bit more creativity and everything. Not to say that doesn't happen in the mainstream titles, but let's be realistic. They're trying to stick to what is selling, and that's really about it. Whereas indie games, they can kind of just do whatever the fuck they want and whatever floats the boat of whoever plays it and everything. So I'm all for indie games doing really, really well because I don't know, I like them a lot. I just can't imagine people disliking them because they're indie games. That's just weird.
The thing I like with indie games though is the fact that they take you back to a better time of gaming. Like Limbo, for example. One of my favourite games of this generation is an indie game. So I just love how dark and creepy it is as you're playing along. It's really good fun. Definitely worth checking out, and you can get it
Oh,
on both
Limbo was
systems.
cool as hell, man.
Yeah. Anybody else got any favourites? Just to make it sound a bit better at least.
Let's see. As far as indie games go, I mean, one of the biggest ones really that end up blowing up happened to be Minecraft. It doesn't seem like it's an indie game now because of what a runaway success it is, but it started off just as an indie game, and that's pretty much like a really good story to go and show. Like you can take a little odd, quirky concept like that and make it into a really great game that everybody's going to enjoy. Another one that became a big success is Amnesia. A lot of people say that's like one of the best survival horror games that they ever played. I played it. I mean, I think it's pretty good, but I don't think it's like one of the very, very best I've ever played. I also don't think it's like as scary. I think it's fun though. But that one has done insanely fucking well. And when you think about a lot of indie games, look at like the PC market and everything, about stuff that's blowing up on there, because that's where like the indie market really is truly is like on phones and like on on the computer and everything. And that stuff I just fucking love to death because you don't you know when you find something that isn't all that popular and it turns out to be really good, you feel like you found that diamond in the rough and it's really special. And you start telling all your friends and going online and telling other people and everything. They start downloading and stuff. And I don't know, it's kind of cool when it finally does end up reaching a pretty broad audience. You feel proud of it.
I say fuck indie games.
Sound
I don't
Rob
like
does not
them
give a fuck
anymore.
about 'em.
Yeah, fuck them. I got
See, Rob is spearheading this animosity.
That's it, man. I'm behind it.
All right.
Started.
Are you gonna start
the
your own
fucking
like
leader.
forum now?
That's it, dude. Fuck indie games, man. They were never good.
See, he right now is leader of the entire pack, like the whole coalition that is going to go against him and just unsettle everything.
You know what? I would like to call Treasury Secretary for your movement. I would like to manage your campaign.
Well,
Not that I have anything against indie games, but fuck it.
well, there is one thing indie game I want to throw out there, and that's Cave Story, because
that game's dope.
it started off as just a flash game, and it was quite enjoyable, and then it got released on the 3DS as a full release title. You know, that just shows that games like that do have a place in mainstream gaming. So, indie games, keep making them.
We talked about this on the last episode, actually. Retro City Rampage.
Dude, yeah, I've been playing the crap out of that.
I mean, that's another fine example. I mean, there's a whole fucking lot out there. It's kind of crazy though, because after a while, you stop viewing them as indie games because they got so famous and popular. But I mean, look on Xbox Live Arcade, look on PSN, look on Steam and everything like that. Look on the eShop. There's plenty of games on there too that a lot of people fucking ignore. And Cave Story is one of those decent examples. But yeah, there's a lot. I heart it. I give it a pat on the ass.
Good. So, what's next in the compact?
Move us along, Yell Chaos.
Well, that's what I'll do. It's time for halftime. And
Halftime.
This is the time during the show where we just talk about whatever we feel like, not like it's any different from the rest of this show. But, just kind of chat a little bit, and we'll get on to the hate-bit ball bag in just a few minutes. Something I was talking about with Mrs. Yell Chaos and then with us boys on the podcast were talking before the show got actually started, and something I realized that was very humorous to me. There's a lot of Metallica fans out there that constantly ask questions in the mailbag, and I thought I would address this. At least my personal feelings. The Metallica movie, Some Kind of Monster. You guys have seen it, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of it. There you go. For me, I think it's funny to note that movie is fucking hilarious if you don't really like Metallica. It's just, it's an absolute romp. I mean, anything is hilarious where a bunch of guys are actually convinced to pay a therapist $40,000 a week. Oh, dude, the only thing worse than the Black Album is watching these fucking retards act like little kids on this fucking movie, arguing and shit. That is the worst shit, dude. They act like selfish little kids throughout the whole movie, and it's just
it definitely makes you like dislike them a whole lot because you just want to fucking beat sense into them because they apparently lost all of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, it's one of those things like you'll like a band, you'll like their music and everything, and that's all fine and good, but when you get to see what they're like outside of that, then it becomes its own fucking monster and everything. And it doesn't do very good for a band that's supposed to be viewed as like badass and everything like that. And you get to see that they're basically like the equivalent of, I don't know, heavy metal Desperate Housewives.
I pretty much found out like, oh, Metallica's bitching about Napster. Fuck Metallica. It's basically how it went for me. That was the final straw for Metallica. I was like, fuck them motherfuckers.
Well, I mean, the thing about this movie that makes me laugh the most, this movie actually makes me defend Lars Ulrich.
I know, when he comes off as like...
He's like the only guy that still wants to fucking do it. And the other guys are just like, no, I think I'm going to sit here and cry for a while. And then after that, I'm gonna think about writing a song, but no, then I'll just, ride my hot rod out on the Golden Gate Bridge because that's not cliche or anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the choo-choo agrees.
You gotta make sure. Make sure if the choo-choo agrees, then you know, it's all good. But speaking of monsters, you know what really sucks? That fucking
What's that?
Godzilla movie with Matthew Broderick in it.
Oh,
Yes.
fuck, yes. Dude, was that not... I mean, with a trailer as strong as that film's trailer, it's like, how do you fuck up that bad with that movie? I remember seeing that trailer, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, man, this looks awesome. Then I see Matthew Broderick, I'm like, oh, this might suck, but it still looks awesome. You know? And I'm like, I want to see this. And I remember seeing it right when it first came out, and I was just like, why is Godzilla's size changing every other scene in this fucking movie? It makes no sense. Like, this movie's so stupid. And, like, yeah, I hated it.
The main question that I had to ask is, why does Godzilla look like such a fucking doofus?
He does.
Because-
He doesn't look anything like what he's supposed to look
Yeah,
like.
Godzilla to me was like, okay, no, fuck that. Godzilla to me has always been like one of the coolest things ever. Godzilla just goes out and fucking smashes shit and then screams all metal like and then fucking like shoots fire and rides around on his fucking tail and kills monsters and shit. I'm like, this is awesome. And then in that movie, Godzilla is a big flaming bag of cum. I'm like, why are you like this? No one wants to see flaming semen, let alone within a fucking plastic giant eagle bag. Some people actually realize what giant eagle is. It's a grocery store. But anyway, it's not funny if you have to explain it. But at the end of the day, it's an abomination. Like, we were talking about Godzilla a lot, but this movie, it's like the worst eyesore ever. I put it on par with Godzilla versus King Kong of Godzilla related things that I hate beyond understanding.
Dude, I mean, when your big budget movie can't even compete with two dudes in rubber suits fucking rolling around on the ground with each other, then you have a problem.
It doesn't help that they had Puff Daddy just basically like dry humping the soundtrack to death.
Oh, God, yes.
Because you could not turn a single fucking station without seeing him just show up and he's like, come with me. And it's like, no, if I keep watching you, I'm pretty sure I'll never be able to fucking ejaculate. Get the fuck off of my screen, you piece of fucking donkey fart thing. Just, I couldn't think of anything. But seriously, that entire
Not
movie,
just a
like,
donkey fart, but a piece of a donkey fart.
yeah, just a fucking smidge of a donkey fart. But look, I'm gonna make a comparison that I did earlier, but I'm gonna make it for all of you. The easiest way that you can ruin a Godzilla movie is exactly how you can ruin a Superman movie. You take one of the most powerful things ever, and you make it just fight regular ass people. That's not interesting. That's not fun. Okay, we already know we cannot beat Godzilla or Superman. Why are you making like an hour and a half or 2 hours of people feebly attempting and failing? Because we know that they'll fail. There's no fucking point. We need gigantic monsters. And I petition to have Superman fight Godzilla because it would be awesome.
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, the last 400 tanks that shot at it didn't do anything. Let's fire 400 more. Let's fucking get some more on him.
Yeah, let's shoot them with regular guns. Okay, that's the equivalent of the wind blowing.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's shoot him with an atomic bomb. He'll get like a staph infection.
Yeah, no, here's the fucked up thing about it. Okay, an atomic bomb is basically like him going and like sitting inside of a sauna. It's not doing shit. If anything, he's like, oh man, fresh air.
That would just give Godzilla a fucking suntan, I'm sure of it.
Okay, he's going to pick his fucking teeth with all of your missiles. All right, he wipes his ass with all of your fucking tanks. Godzilla gives less than a fuck. What he needs is gigantic monsters, like Monster Zero to come down, or Mothra for him to laugh at and make jokes about. You know, that's the kind of shit that you need. Like, come on. Also, play the Godzilla Monsters Melee, the fucking the big ass fighting game that's on Xbox and GameCube, I think. Yeah, that shit's a lot of fun. God, I love that. But don't watch the movie with Matthew Broderick. It's stupid. Watch Godzilla 2000, because that was actually released in theaters, and one of the few Godzilla movies released in theaters over here. It's amazing and awesome.
No, you watch Godzilla Final Wars.
That's the best Godzilla movie, and if anybody disagrees, there is something mentally wrong with you. It is just, it is fucking... Put it this way, they made the parts with humans amusing and entertaining because they fight like kung fu, fucking like doing 80 flips and shit, and fucking
Oh, yeah.
roundhouse kicking people into fucking like walls, and there's like a big hole there. It is awesome as shit. So over the top acrobatic theatrics, and then monsters and rubber suits fighting with pretty decent special effects. You have all my money.
Oh yeah, it looks like a Godzilla movie if like Ed Wood was like the producer.
I'm in.
You know,
Man.
it's just like, like, what does this have to do with anything? Nothing, but it is rather awesome, wouldn't you say?
It is. Final Wars, and the thing is, and that's like the last legitimate Godzilla movie.
Yeah, not to mention that movie stars Rick Steiner, I understand.
Wait.
That's a very dry joke if you
that's why we didn't laugh.
Off guard. I was just like, wait, he's in the movie, and I actually stopped and started thinking about it. I'm like, when was he over in Japan? Oh, I get it now.
See, I made you. See, I fooled you.
It was slow to roll.
See what I did there?
I get it now.
I know. You know what? You talk about Godzilla versus Superman. I'm waiting to see Godzilla versus like Andy Kaufman.
Oh shit!
And David Letterman is going to have to be in the middle of it, commentating somehow.
Yes, and Jerry Lawler will be there, but he'll have a heart attack, so it'll be tough to film.
We don't want that, and we don't have to have those too soon bullshit comments, because he's now commentating at Raw. So if he's not having heart attacks whenever like the pyrotechnics go off, then I'm pretty sure he can handle a fucking Andy Kaufman zombie versus Godzilla. So,
see, the zombie, that would be even better.
He had his second heart attack because of you guys.
And before the match plays out and everything for the folks to watch, we're gonna have the Taxi theme song play, because that shit's awesome.
No, anything but that.
We need the Cheers theme song.
Like, legitimately, I have the Taxi theme song stuck in my head. Now, we won't go across like the bridge and everything like that, but I just want to fucking hear it. Maybe a metal cover of it. That'd be awesome.
That'd be dope.
I don't know how the fuck you could do a metal cover of that, but I mean, they've done metal covers of shit that just made no sense, and it turned out pretty good. So I think that they could do. If somebody out there is musically inclined, like if you can get it together and do a metal cover of the Taxi theme song, I will seriously promote it.
Do a metal theme of the Cheers theme too. I want to hear that.
Dude, I've been watching Cheers so much too. Like, I watched every season.
Dude, I could do that like tomorrow.
Fuck yeah, do that shit, dude.
Well, everybody knows your name.
Wait,
that's actually badass, dude.
Metal version. It will work out like absolutely nobody's business.
I know, right? Just because you said so.
And Ted Danson needs to come in and just be like, "Oh, I played for the fucking Red Sox. Suck it, you motherfuckers!" And they're like, "Okay."
There you go. That's a great idea.
Wait, and then he can say the most metal and brutal thing ever, and that's, "I fucked Whoopi Goldberg with my eyes open and willfully." And you cannot get more brutal than that. There's nothing more brutal than fucking the Predator herself.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Except for doing it on The View and making it into a mass orgy, and then everybody hates you.
I don't know. Matthew Broderick has to fuck Sarah Jessica Parker, so,
Yes, because fucking Mr. Ed is pretty brutal in itself. Sex in the City, starring Mr. Ed. She horse-faced whore. There we go.
I think I'd rather fuck the Godzilla that was in that movie than fucking Sarah Jessica Parker, man.
I would definitely take it to that Godzilla, because it would be an angry fuck on my end, so I'd feel like I'm getting some kind of redemption. Fucking Sarah Jessica Parker, no one wins.
This is for so many seasons of Sex in the City.
Stay in Sex in the City. That's all I can say.
I know. This is for looking like you look. Anyway.
Your face.
Anyway, you know what? It's time for the Hate Bit Ball Bag, right here on Halftime. And this week, the ball bag is brought to you by AlphaOmegaSin brand Muff Cream, for those who like to make it big in Japan.
Muff.
Much like Godzilla. So go out and get yourself some Muff Cream, because
Muff
it'll make you
creamy style.
There you go. And we got some mail here, and this one is coming to us from YouTube. And our inbox here on YouTube. Please drop us a line in YouTube. And if I didn't mention it already, which I'm pretty sure I've said it way too many fucking times, drop us a line at hatebitpodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook. This next piece comes to us from Lupacillo, a regular here on the Hate Bet podcast. Lupacillo says, and he's always, he seems to get more and more long-winded, and we appreciate that. He's gaining his confidence amazingly. So
We
Lupacillo,
appreciate it, Lou.
yeah,
Thank you, Lou. We'll call him Lou.
Let's not call him Lupe though; he might get upset. He says mainstream game media must meet Dirty Harry in a dark alley. I wonder where this is going. I have a feeling someone's going to be in a chair or something. I don't know. He says, "Greetings, mighty MILF magnets." Is that true? Are we MILF magnets?
I actually am, quite a bit, in a bad way.
By
Well-
the way.
It depends. I mean, California MILFs versus Pennsylvania MILFs.
I know we have the few and far between, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
they're few and far between.
There's Ohio, of course, and we all know how that goes.
And then you look at our MILFs and they're all very, very young, with the highest birth rate in fucking Europe.
Is that true?
Well, it's what they keep saying to us.
You guys should have hung on to Hong Kong then. And
Shoulda,
they just-
woulda, coulda.
They just send him to Australia. Anyway, he goes on to say, I think.
Oh.
Well, I'm sorry. He says, I think we can all agree that whenever a niche entertainment form comes to the mainstream, it becomes dumbed down and idiotized for the masses, e.g. Jeff Keighley and the Video Game Awards. He says, which of these self-important dickwads who have the nerve to say they speak for all of gamerdom, I don't know what that is, should be fed speeding lumps of lead fired from a 44 Magnum, preferably like Clint Eastwood, who can remember if he shot 5 or 6 bullets for some reason. He says, I'd go with Angry Joe first because he's a self-important, worthless washout who jumped into the video game scene when it went mainstream and proclaims himself the champion of the people. I would pour 8 pounds of live fire ants into this idiot's throat and then duct tape his lips shut, so the only means of exit for the ants would be through his asshole.
I like this guy. Guy.
Yeah, I was
Not
gonna say,
much difference
Lou.
between its orifices.
Lou, I give you the maximum amount of points. I don't know what the point score is, but you get the maximum amount of points plus 1 because I like the way that you think. It is on par with how I think, and that's disgusting and good.
Angry Schmo's here.
Yeah, Angry Joe can go and fucking basically get clipped by a fucking slow-moving Buick. Okay, I hate the fact that the motherfucker actually did say that he speaks on behalf of people like you and people like me. No, you know what you're supposed to say? I speak on behalf of myself because I can think for myself and give my opinions because not everybody thinks the same. Okay, I don't always agree with everybody and not everybody's going to agree with me. So would you want me speaking on behalf for you? No, it wouldn't make any fucking sense. So yeah, he can go and get fucked along with that stupid fucking haircut of his and that goddamn fucking creepy crawler mustache.
Yeah, and just this is one thing that made me laugh about what he's released this week. He's released his own Android and iPhone app. What the fuck?
Really?
Really?
Damn, I wish I was that important.
If it's not a gallery shooter, I'm not interested.
No, it's just basically an easy way to get to all his bullshit. So if you fancy some Angry Joe bullshit, download his app.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, or he could have not said anything and he would have died of unpopularity.
I think he's already dying of unpopularity because
Good.
for some reason he's got over 100,000 subscribers, and I think every one of them
Right,
must be
right here on YouTube he does?
Right, they're on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Angry Schmo and Pat the NES Punk can both die in an explosion. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be too happy about that.
Well, I will say this. I'm going to defend Pat the NES Punk for a second. He's really funny when he's not, reading it.
When he's still not funny.
No, I didn't say he was funny. I just said, well, actually, I did say he was funny. Well, fuck that shit then. You know what? He's not funny. I'm just going to stick with that.
I'm glad you could see the light.
I did. I feel it's a brand new day, and yeah, he's not funny.
I've seen more funny gunshot wounds, to be fair.
Gunshot wounds are hilarious.
I was going to say, I've actually laughed at a lot of gunshot wounds, especially like whenever their head just goes all over the place and suddenly becomes wallpaper. That shit's hilarious.
That's not really a wound. That's more of...
That's a fatality.
That's combustion.
Hey, well, to each his own. That's a wound to me, because I'm a man. Man. A man, oh man, oh man. Sorry.
Man.
And now you are a man. If anybody's seen Orgasmo, then you're going to get that song.
Oh,
Cosmo, that is such a funny film.
Man.
Yeah, like
You want to be
oh
a
my
stunt,
God,
but what? We got a stunt, but
I liked Orgasmo Ray, the noise that makes. It's like rear, 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 and they're just like, oh,
I'm a
and
Mormon and I'm a porn star all at the same time. Yeah.
I mean, how do you not watch a movie called Orgasmo? You see this thing sitting on the shelves at your video store, you're like, I gotta rent this. I don't really have a choice. I have to get it.
See, there you go.
You know, so
Yeah.
honestly, I wish that I had the funds and the patience to put together a Orgasmo suit because I would wear it during some of my videos.
That
Like
would be
pink
funny.
tights and like the silver fucking the silver dong area and everything. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, don't forget you'd have to get somebody to be your stunt butt.
Yeah, that's true. I need a stunt butt.
Speaking
Damn
of stunt butts, we have another piece of mail here, and I was reading through it, and you guys might agree with me with the stunt butt comment in just a moment. It comes from Tien Shinhan Z, YouTube user.
Tien Shinhan. Yeah.
Is that how it's done?
Yeah, it's Tien Shinhan is a character from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Sanctum Magnus. Thank you very much. I use the traditional American way of, I just spoke louder and slower. So let me see here. He says, hey guys, since you all seem to be WWE, or should I say WWF fans, I want to know what you guys think of that no good motherfucker CM cunt. I don't know why everybody is on his dick. All he's ever done was one work shoot promo that was decent at best, yet everyone acts like it was the second coming of Christ. Seriously, this guy doesn't have any punctuation. I shouldn't neglect to mention that. He says, seriously, this guy is obviously a stone cold wannabe, and the only way he can get the crowd to cheer is by stating some form of bullshit and lie to them, such as when he was talking about change and telling people he was going to bring the ice cream bars back or change the stupid Cena belt, which never happened. So fuck this piece of shit right up his ass, although I'm sure he would enjoy that. Also, for a second question, why is there no love for Soul Calibur? I don't know if you had a first question, so I'm not really sure how to feel about that. Secondly, Soul Calibur's fucking awesome.
Soul Calibur
Oh.
1, Soul Calibur 2, can't beat them. Soul Calibur 3, Soul Calibur 4, Soul Calibur 5, why?
it's better than Tekken. I'll say that much. I won't say
I-
that
I'm not
much.
saying a whole lot, but
I just want to say one thing real quick. Not sound like a dick, but you sound like you believe most of the stuff that's in wrestling. And all it is they're working a shoot, they're working an angle. It's a storyline. It's when he says bringing back ice cream bars, he doesn't own an ice cream factory,
Yeah,
nor does he have the leverage to be able to command WWE to somehow go and make them.
I think
you know,
the best
it's just
thing he
something
ever
funny.
did was the best thing CM Punk ever did was when he punched that one fan in the face. That was hilarious.
Here,
Like
I'll tell you, I'll actually defend CM Punk right now for a couple different reasons. And I'm not even a big fan of him, to be honest. I hated him when I first saw him. When CM Punk is being a legitimate heel, he actually draws decent heel heat. Okay, he can actually work the mic, and he's decent in ring. I won't say he's extremely awesome because he's actually pretty watered down by comparison to what he was like when he was in Ring of Honor. When he was in Ring of Honor, he had a much larger repertoire of moves. But he's a decent bad guy, and he's pretty good whenever he's, I don't know, just honestly being an asshole to everybody. And he's a good champ because that gives everybody something to clamor for. Is he the second coming of Stone Cold? No. Honestly, I don't think they're anything alike, and I don't understand why they get compared. Two people speaking their mind? Holy shit, you don't say. Stone Cold isn't the first person to fucking speak his mind and be angry about shit, but, he just did it best and did it loudest. But CM Punk, yeah, he's pretty fucking good, but, he's a far ways away from all the people in the Attitude Era, I'll say that much. So, yeah. That's all my CM Punk opinions and stuff like that.
see, and there you go. I'm glad that we get time to sort this kind of thing out on the Hate Bit podcast here in the ball bag. And
Here, hold on. I want to say one last thing. I do agree with you about that fucking belt, though. That belt is atrocious looking. Looks like dog dicks. It's fucking terrible. Like, seriously, it's like ostrich shit on top of a fucking, like, a frozen mound of vinegar. I don't understand what the hell they thought was a good idea with it. The spinner belt was dumb to begin with. Now it doesn't spin. So I don't really get it. If anything, bring back the smoking skull belt. That looked fucking awesome. Granted, Stone Cold's, but I don't give a fuck. Had a skull with fucking smoke coming out of it, and that's sweet to me. Or bring back the hardcore belt because it was the old WWF heavyweight title just smashed a bunch
With
and then
tape
glued
on
back
it.
on her.
With
Yeah, I fucking like that. That was an awesome looking belt and made you feel pretty decent or not decent. Depends. Ask Crash Holly at his grave.
Oh god.
Crash Holly was
Because I'm-
actually funny.
Aw.
He's like, I'm short.
See, I watched wrestling back in the Attitude Era when we had Goldberg, and he would come out and like spear a fool in like 3 seconds and then leave, and then it was just like, "Yay, Goldberg, he's gone now." Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck?
That's okay.
Yeah.
They're trying to rekindle that. They have this fucking mook named Ryback. Ryback is a fucking retard. I hate him because he's so fucking green. He botches all of his moves, and the dude literally can't work a fucking match for more than 3 minutes and has to be carried throughout the entire thing. If he doesn't come out, fucking land his move and leave, it is literally like going through open heart surgery, but it's accidentally being done on your fucking prostate. I don't understand the entire fucking appeal to him because the only thing that they did was they said, go out there and say, feed me more over and over again. Now all the fucking jackasses in the crowd will say it, but nobody can explain the appeal behind him. He sucks on the fucking mic. He sucks in ring. He's injured several wrestlers in real life. He's botched tons of fucking moves. And the only reason he's even in the main event title scene is because Cena got injured and they had nobody else to fucking replace him. They didn't know what to do. So they scrambled at the last minute.
You know,
So
it'd be
yeah,
a good
fuck
show.
him.
You know what show I would watch? Put these WWE guys in the ring with some UFC guys. I'd watch that.
That'd be
Yeah.
funny.
That'd
Dude,
be
I
pretty funny.
still say like scariest fucking dude that they ever had entered WWE by fucking far was Brock Lesnar. I'm not scared of too many people in real life, but if Brock Lesnar he was in the same city as me and knew I existed, I would shit myself.
You'd be looking
to
over your shoulder and shit.
Dude,
I know it's here.
he's like a gajillion feet tall, and to work out, he picked up a tree, a gigantic tree, and went jogging. People don't pick up trees and go jogging. That's just you
I
don't
don't-
do that.
I don't do that anymore.
I mean, Silent Bob used to, but he had to
No, it
retire.
freaks out the neighbors, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It offends the force, damn it. But it is. Sorry about the Ryback rant. I just don't like the guy. He's a moron.
Yep.
He sounds
He's a,
like-
I don't know who he is, but he's a fucking dumbass.
But
Yeah,
this way,
he's an asshole.
for Goldberg to come back for one match, abuse the living shit out of this motherfucker since he's stealing his entire gimmick and actually looks excited when people actually do the Goldberg chant because he's like, I'm living in his shadow. Fucking dork. Yeah, fuck him and the roid-abused fucking brain that he has barely fucking functioning.
What was that guy's name that like killed his whole family in the WWE or whatever?
Oh, Chris
Oh, Chris
Benoit.
Benoit.
Benoit?
Chris Benoit. That blew my fucking mind when
Yeah,
that
Mr.
happened.
Benoit, he was fucking deranged and then left, it creepily left fucking Bibles by their dead bodies before he hung himself.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like that shit. You know what's really sad was on Raw, they were just like Chris Benoit passed away. They had this big fucking ceremony for him. Then they found out that he killed his fucking family, and they couldn't take back that ceremony that they had for him.
Awkward. Awkward.
Yeah, just a tad bit awkward. So yeah, they just they don't speak of him at all. But if you find a Chris Benoit action figure, you can always have a couple of lulls because down in the corner it says warning, choking hazard.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, AlphaOmegaSin, thank you for bringing the podcast to a screeching fucking halt.
That's my job.
Yeah,
We're gonna
sorry.
get letters, you know. Anyway, that's gonna do it for the hate bit ball bag. God damn, you're fucking ruthless, man.
But-
And we applaud you for it. We thank you, and I hope that more people applaud you for being as ruthless as you are. Thank you. Anyway, it's time to start the second half, but we're well past halfway now. But now it's time for a new damage report thing we do here on the 8-Bit Podcast, and this is the Black Friday casualty list. What the fuck happened on Friday? Silent Rob, you shared a video with myself and Sainted Magnus and all of us, and what the fuck?
Dude, just total fucking madness. People losing their shit. Losing their fucking minds, acting like animals to save fucking $20 on a fucking phone. and shit. Like old ladies like suplexing motherfuckers and shit, man. Just craziness. It's like that's why I don't leave the house, man. Like I was talking about before the podcast, I barricade myself in my fucking house like fucking Night of the Living Dead style, man. Like putting up boards on the windows. I ain't fucking around with that shit.
I was gonna say it looks like bloody Day of the Dead when you see them in bloody Walmart and they're like, whoa, 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 and everyone's grabbing for the, for I don't know, a loaf of bread or something just to get that.
Dude, because I'll go to jail, dude. Because if I'm fucking there, if somebody's gonna yank something out of my fucking hands like they were doing in that video, dude, it's gonna go down, dog. Like I'm gonna be getting into a fight or something. It's gonna fucking there ain't nobody just gonna take something out of my fucking hands or like right in front of me and shit. Like how disrespectful is that, man? It was just that's what was happening in that video. It was just like, oh my god. So yeah,
dude, one thing that's fucked up is I was dumb enough to go out Black Friday and technically Black Thursday because the stores decided to have it a day early. Dude, I couldn't fucking understand it because they were having sales Thursday morning, Thanksgiving Day. They were having what is supposed to be Black Friday sales in the morning. I saw people camped outside of Kmart by me, and I was just like, these motherfuckers are crazy. But I went to the Walmart and the girl.
Hey, they prefer to be called homeless.
They basically should have been. I was just like, drove by real slow, just staring at them like, you guys are fucking simple. But at Black Friday at Walmart, okay, somebody got into a fist fight. I'm not fucking exaggerating. Somebody got into a fist fight over a pillow.
What?
A pillow. Okay, you know those things that are not that big of a deal because it's a pillow. Like a pillow, no pillows cost a lot. Even the fucking like memory foam pillows don't cost. It's just a fucking pillow. People got into a fist fight over that. I was like, I can't tell you how many times I've seen stupid shit go down over items that aren't worth it. Like moms beating the fuck out of grandmothers, beating the fucking shit out of sisters and daughters over Elmo dolls way back in the 90s. But over a pillow? All right, there's our new low. Awesome.
Dude, I can just see this person like suffocating the other person with the pillow and shit.
I'll put you to sleep.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Oh god damn it! I'm British and we don't really have Black Friday over here until Amazon came along and says, here, Black Friday deals. Yeah, here's Cyber Monday deals. And I'm like, what the fuck are you on about?
At least that shit's online, though. And you don't have people, like, trying to do an insiguri on somebody going and reaching for an item or power bombing them into fucking a fucking glass display stand or something like that.
He's just fucking
nobody
crazy.
is clotheslining infants on Amazon.co.uk.
And nobody's using them as projectiles, which is also highly questionable as to how it hasn't happened yet.
My favorite Black Friday story.
That was racist.
I do apologize. This.
I was actually more delighting in the projectile infants.
Dude, I'm always reveling in that. That's fucking awesome.
But I just want to tell you my favorite Black Friday story that I've heard. This was from last year, actually. There was a grandfather out with his grandson or granddaughter or something like that, and he grabbed something for this grandchild. So, in order for him to carry the child and the item, he put the item inside his jacket and picked up his grandson/daughter. And some douchebag just shouted, "Shoplifter!" and security came over and bloody jumped him.
That's hilarious. I was the one that shouted it. I was the one that shouted it.
Yeah, they say asshole that shouted it.
I was like, shoplifter. I remember that. That was awesome.
I was watching. I just saw it on YouTube. I was like, what the fuck?
Well,
just trying to look after his goddamn kid. What do you expect?
Well, the name of your sale sounds like a fucking horror movie, then I want no part of it. You know what I mean? Like it's just the name of it just sounds scary. Like Black Friday.
It does, absolutely. And, as AlphaOmegaSin was bringing up, we had something here in the States called Black Thursday, and I'd never heard of this. And I said to myself, there's two things that we need to take into account here. Number one, that's a very special day that you're supposed to sit on your ass and get real fat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they got Christmas for that as well.
They do, exactly.
And lunchtime.
Well, see, because Christmas and Thanksgiving were put together for, married people. That's because you have in-laws. Why else would you be given a holiday where you eat the exact same meal?
Oh no.
It's true. But the other thing that needs to be taken into consideration is, when does this stop? When I have a feeling that before long we're going to be getting Black Friday sometime in April.
I'm just
I'm
waiting for the Black
like
Week.
Black Week.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Black Week,
The
man.
Black Week or the Black Month.
I mean,
Yeah,
do you think they planned it out that Black Friday would coincide with a lot of black eyes?
Maybe.
Yeah, and just fucking trample to death people. Dude, it's just fucking weird though to see what some of these people are doing for savings that really aren't that great, but they're like in the zone. Like, oh man, I camped out. I waited all these hours. I'm gonna trample over some person and not give a shit. It's like, would you do that any other day of the week? And why are you doing that on this day? Not to go and fucking see, seeming like it's justified all of a sudden, but it's just like, look. Here, I'll give you a quick little tidbit of what I was going through. Okay, I went out on Black Thursday / Friday, whatever the fuck you want to call it now, and I went to Walmart like an idiot with my brother because we went there to get a specific gift for somebody, and unfortunately we didn't get it. But while we were there, I went to the game area to go and get WWE 13. I was the first person waiting over in the PS3 section. So then a line ends up forming, and the guy takes out the only 2 fucking copies. Yes, Walmart has a whopping 2 copies. As soon as he reaches his hand in, starts pulling it out, this one chick just barrels through everybody and fucking shoves them to the side, snags both copies, and just darts. I was fucking butthurt. I was just like, damn.
That's why I bring my taser with me. Ain't nobody gonna
Dude,
fucking
it
do
would have
that
been
shit.
helpful, except for I guarantee I would have hit like 19 other people before I even got this bitch. And she was going like 30 miles per hour on foot. I was like, whoa. So, granted, got some other shit, but it's just like, I don't know. When you go out, you just see people being dumb as fucking hell. And of all places that wasn't like an astronomical fucking like mess, was Best Buy. They actually had their shit together and people were like orderly. I was like, whoa, that's new. All of a sudden.
I'm just wondering where, I don't, I know consumerism because we have the January sales fucking on Boxing Day, for fuck's sake, a week before bloody January even starts. And we're a bit more sedate, I must admit, when it comes to these sorts of things. We do get the stupid people that camp outside in the freezing cold in the middle of fucking December, just to save £3 or something off a fucking game or bloody DVD player or whatever. But I just don't understand why everybody just goes fucking nuts for this thing. It's just like,
I don't get it either.
It's just weird.
The thing is, like, okay, there are good deals out there, but a lot of the stuff will eventually be that price. I mean, I understand that you want to go and get stuff for people for the holidays and everything, and that's all well and good. You have good intentions and everything, but at what fucking cost? Like, to go and just exhaust every single last bit of your humanity to become a fucking complete and utter piece of shit. To go and fucking like punch somebody because they picked up something that you couldn't get to. Like, really? You had to do that? And it just confuses the shit out of me. Are there good deals we had? Yes. At the fucking cost of wanting to go to jail or just, I don't know, seem like an animal? Nah.
I just don't understand why somebody want to go and jackknife powerbomb somebody just for a fucking DVD or a game.
Well, to be fair, I want to jackknife powerbomb people by default.
Yeah,
but that's Joe Chaos's signature move, so I can't do that. I have the Stone Cold Stunner, so I'll just stick with that.
I just kick people in the face like Kevin Nash.
The big boot, dude. You ought to follow it up with the Hulk Hogan leg drop.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah.
You can't bust your butt bone though, because we already talked about how that would be terrible. Just stuff starts pouring out, and
it's all right. I have the rock bottom anyway, so I'm okay.
See, there you go. So am I the only one out of the entire podcast that went out on Black Friday?
You're the only idiot.
Yeah, okay. I'm the only idiot. Well,
you're the only
okay. To be fair, I did get some decent stuff for all of my family, pretty much. And I also did my own Christmas shopping. I'll just go and throw this shit out there. For whatever reason, Best Buy, like that, I had mentioned earlier, that fucking 3D Sony TV, that PlayStation TV,
oh yeah,
they had them there for $99. So I was like, well, shit, I needed a TV for my bedroom because I don't have one. And I was like, that's not bad. 24-inch, $99, a 3D 1080p, 240 hertz TV. Sure, I'll take that for $99. That's a pretty decent deal. And I also got like big fucking stack of games. Like got Doom BFG edition, because it's Doom and having it is kind of stupid. I got Lego Batman 2, which I've already played and beat that game, but I want to actually own it so I could go through and do all the extra stuff. Got Sleeping Dogs because I've been wanting to play that and heard nothing but sweet things about it. Dead Island Game of the Year edition, which I'm hoping doesn't have all the fucking bugs still intact on it. They actually patched the shit before I had to put it into the console. And that was $8. I was like, $8? Are you fucking serious? Okay, whatever. I'll take it, throw it on the fucking pile and everything. And there's a bunch of other shit, but it like, you know, there was decent deals, but you know, you could also go on Amazon and get like the same deals, or you could go onto BestBuy.com or Walmart.com and add the shit to the cart 90% of the time. So going out really didn't mean all that much half the time. So yeah, going out for Black Friday was kind of pointless for the most part.
Well, interesting stuff, I must admit.
Absolutely. But
Chaos,
yeah.
you've been quiet. What have you got to say about Black Friday?
We woke him up.
That sums it up. That sums it up.
I can't believe some of this shit I have seen. Okay, let me set the stage for you. Okay, I've been to Walmart once before. Okay, and yeah, I wanted to punch at least 6 of those motherfuckers in line. However, I've learned just not to go there, and there are people who went there on purpose at 12 o'clock.
Yes.
I would like to reiterate my previous point.
You know, you sound like Winston Churchill after he's had a few brandies.
Every time I'm in Walmart, I'm like, how did I get here? This is a mistake. I shouldn't be here, you know?
Yeah.
But dude, one of the best reasons for you to either want to go to Walmart a lot or to avoid it altogether is simple. You go to peopleofwalmart.com. You go on there and you have a good fucking laugh because you can go on there for hours on end and just scan through pictures. And they actually have videos on there. The best one, I think, was like a John Deere tractor, gigantic fucking thing, was running by itself and it was going in a circle, destroying cars and everything in its wake. It was awesome. Good old Walmart parking lot. But yeah.
I've seen the website, and apparently I was in the mall the other day, and they had a calendar of the people of Walmart, and it's like, this is not something we should be glorifying.
No.
I mean, if someone were to give me one of those for Christmas, I would punch them right in their fucking teeth.
Well, that's your Christmas present.
You want me to see this every single day, don't you? Fuck you. Secondarily, I've seen that website, and I've seen that apparently other Walmarts throughout the country and throughout the world have delicatessens, where they fix you a sandwich or whatever. There should be no delicatessen in a Walmart.
That's nothing. We've got a bloody
There shouldn't even be a fucking McDonald's. McDonald's has degraded itself by being attached to Walmart.
We've got petrol stations with Subway and Costa Coffee and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, we have that too, and I don't eat there.
We have a drive-through fucking Starbucks for fuck's sake as well, which is just started cropping up.
Well, exactly. I mean, but that proves that there's somebody eating that shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, the very idea of like a deli inside there is kind of horrifying. But the idea of the people working at those delis, that's 10 times more horrifying. I mean, can you get gangrene orally?
Yeah, they serve it on a sandwich.
That's the only thing I can think about. It's just, oh God, I really want to stab a hot poker in my eye now. But anyway, yeah. So Black Friday, this shows off. I mean, I hate to get philosophical, but this is the true religion of the United States of America.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing, and I'm not the guy to judge people about your life. I do what I do in my own life, and I hope that you do the same. But America, get your fucking shit together.
It's consumerism. What do you expect?
Insane. I know, but I cannot believe that this fucking podcast, of all the podcasts, actually finds, This disgusting. That's how. This it's bad. This is exactly how you know that shit is wrong and fucked up because us rotten bastards are casting aspersions on it. Anyway, it's time to move on with the rest of the program. My God.
You do sound like Winston Churchill, pissed.
Or more like I was thinking something like Lurch from the Addams Family, but
Indubitably.
yeah, yes. And I know, right? You're starting to sound Austrian.
No, don't say
Uh,
Hitler. Please don't say I'm Hitler.
Exactly. Anyway, it's time for a segment that AlphaOmegaSin said would be a great idea to throw out, and it's Gaming Quirks. This is may turn it into a bit of a series, and we're going to see. AlphaOmegaSin says there's all kinds of weirdo shit that he does when he plays games. I'm really curious about it. So, AlphaOmegaSin, what are your gaming quirks?
It's just something like I thought about making a video series about it for ages, but I just never did. But I noticed that there's always like these just random things that I do specifically, like, religiously when I play games that other people might not do or just find extremely weird. Like, for instance, I almost never pause my games if the game ultimately keeps track of the amount of time that you've invested into it. Like, I'll turn it off. I don't give a fuck. I'll turn the game completely off and then I'll go back to it if I have to leave it for more than a couple of seconds. Because for some reason, and I can't explain to you why, but for some reason I need to know the exact amount of time that I invested into the game overall. Because if there's additional time on there that I didn't invest, then it just throws my world upside down and shit doesn't make sense. The sky all of a sudden is every color.
This is called obsessive compulsive disorder. I want you to know that.
I'm going to go with quirks because it makes it sound like I don't need medication. Ha.
There you go. But under Obamacare, your gaming quirks will be handled.
It'd be very expensive, let me tell you.
But that's like one of those random things. Do any of you have those random oddball things?
I'm the same way, dude. Well, I'm really I take care of my CDs and stuff probably too well. When I used to shop at GameStop, I used to have to look at the CDs, and if they had any scratches on them, I wouldn't buy them. But it's funny, even my PS1 games, every single one is pristine condition. So there's not, except for the stuff that people have sent me, all my discs look completely brand new. And because I'm just really crazy about that. I don't like to have scratch. That's why when Blu-ray came out, I was like, great, awesome, a format that doesn't fucking scratch constantly and ruin your shit, because I fucking can't stand that shit. So I'm pretty bad with that. I don't like to even buy a lot of old PS2 games and stuff because you just get them and they're just. I don't want to buy a scratched up mess that could possibly freeze halfway through the fucking game. You know what I mean? So I hate that shit. So,
it looks like somebody polished it with their fucking pubic hair.
I fucking hate that shit, dude. I don't even care if the game's cheap or not. I won't buy stuff that looks like that. You know what I mean?
No, I know what I mean. I've got, when I go out and buy my games, and when they put all the stickers on it?
Yeah.
I'm say if I go to, the pub or whatever and say, right, yeah, I've just bought these, and they go, oh, right, and the guy that I've shown it to starts peeling the stickers off. I'm like, oh, fucking leave that, because I actually like cleaning games. I sit there I've got all my special bloody solutions and shit just to get all the sticker residue off, and I like sitting there watching YouTube videos or watching TV and just peeling all the labels off and cleaning them all up and making them all nice. I think that's my little quirk. I've always done that.
That's like your bubble wrap.
Yeah. it is. That's perfect. That's a perfect analogy. It's bubble wrap for gamers.
Totally.
I think the one that really stands out for me, and Mrs. Yell Chaos laughed her ass off at me the other day. She saw me. I was arranging my NES collection, and I was putting them in certain places, and I wanted the Konami games over there and stuff like that. And she says, you have a very funny way of organizing those. And I said, well, this shelf right here is for Nintendo-published games only. And she thought that was kind of funny, and so she took Top Gun and tried to put it. I said, no, that's not the Nintendo. You get that fucking Top Gun my Nintendo shelf, goddammit. And
that's a serious offense.
It is. And for some reason, I have to have everything in the NES arranged by publisher and then alphabetically.
Don't forget by year.
I'm a sick man.
Well, dude, there's I mean, there's tons of shit. Like, I've talked to people about some of the stuff that they do. Just like, there are certain people that, you know, they they have to eat like a certain food when they're playing like specific genres of games and everything. I was always thought that was kind of interesting. Like, I found that almost every time that I'm playing an RPG, I'm on like a complete ramen diet. I don't purposefully decide on this. It just happens that way. And then all of a sudden I'm back in like circa 1997 and doing the same exact things. It's fucking strange. Like, if I'm going with old school consoles, I'll have one memory card completely dedicated to all of my most important saves. Other shit can go anywhere, but all my most important and near and dear things are on one memory card, which ended up biting me in the ass when my one PS2 memory card got stolen and I lost my two most precious save files, one being Disgaea Hour of Darkness, which had over 300 hours on it, and my Final Fantasy X save file, which had over 100 hours. And like I said before, I dedicate myself. That's gameplay time. That's not this motherfucker left that run. No, I never do that. I also don't like leaving game consoles running when I'm not playing them, just because fear that I'm gonna come back and that shit ain't working no more.
Dude, Final Fantasy X fucking rocks. Dude, you can thank Spoony for all this Final Fantasy X hate, but fuck that shit, dude. I like that game. Damn it.
Who thanks Spoony for anything, really?
Dude, he bitched about the game, so now it sucks. Didn't you know? It's not good now.
I can say one thing. Final Fantasy X, despite its flaws, has one major thing that'll always make it very awesome to me, and that's Auron.
Auron is fucking badass, dude.
Yeah.
He has a jug of alcohol with him at all times. He's so badass. He has his arm in a sling because he just feels like it and shit, you know?
Dude, he's like an old school samurai. Looks cool as shit. And I like the fact that he's one of the few fucking Final Fantasy characters that breaks the mold of I'm a prepubescent boy, possibly girl, can't really tell, and my hair is obviously being stylized by people who've never heard of gravity.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
I mean, he's a very fucking badass character. And Lulu, if Lulu was a real life person, I don't know how many holes I would just drill into her to fill. So yeah.
Fuck yes.
But yeah, it just, I don't know. And if anybody listening, if you feel like spouting off random shit that you're just like, I have a really bad habit of doing this and this and this and this, by all means, share it and stuff. Unless it's too embarrassing, then you definitely should.
Video response it. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a video response to a radio program. My God, the age we live in.
Oh, I know.
Fantastic. So as you can see, we're all fucking crazy, and we thank you for tuning in to our show right here at the home. And you know, so and we appreciate you guys 100%. So yeah, like AlphaOmegaSin and Saint Magna said, drop us a line. Let us know how fucking nuts are you. Anyway, you know what time it is. We're getting towards the end of the podcast, you know, and I know, sad, but you know, all good things must come to an end, and that's why we're gonna end it the right way. It's time for my favorite part, your favorite part. That's right, the return of the rant. Today, ranting my good man AlphaOmegaSin. Alpha, what's on your brain?
What's on my brain? Yeah, that's such a fantastic question. You know, get bored, decide to go on the internet, and one website that I fancy and frequent often is Craigslist. And Craigslist just so happens to be the bane of all things if there's a console launch. Nintendo Wii comes out, go to Craigslist. Watch everything turn upside down. The PS3 launch, go to Craigslist. Watch everybody just turn it into one big fucking carnival. And as you all know, we do have a new console that's out, Nintendo Wii U. Oh, it's such a splendid day to go and celebrate the arrival of a new console for everybody to go and indulge themselves. And the new software will come out with it, and new experiences that we'll have, and go and usher in the new era and generation of console gaming until you go on Craigslist and see that fucking shit for, I don't know, astronomical prices, like $950 fucking dollars. I had the luxury of playing one-upsmanship with somebody on Facebook. Can you tell me what is the highest price that you've ever seen a Nintendo Wii going for, or Nintendo Wii U going for? Oh, well, I thought that I'd be able to best everybody because I had seen so much stupid before. And Originally, it was $800. No, I found $950 because people like going to different stores and everything and buying stacks of them. So you got to tell little Jimmy, I'm sorry, Daddy wasn't able to go and get you that console that you wanted ever so much. I won't be able to get you much of shit except for an IOU because, well, they're sold out everywhere. Oh, and Nintendo also said that specific version that you want, that Pro version, yeah, they're not going to actually have anymore until next year. Sorry about that. But hey, it's like late Christmas. Always think of it like that. I hate the price gougers and motherfuckers that somehow get off on this idea that it's fucking awesome to do, especially during the holidays. And I don't want to fucking hear it from you stupid fucking miserable pieces of fucking dog shit that somehow want to go and justify it by saying, well, it's theirs to do with what they want with. Well, my fist is what I can do whatever the fuck I want with, and it's to put it through your fucking face to shut you the fuck up. The fact is, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be a dickhole during the fucking holiday season. The time of giving, time to be with family, and the time to be a greedy fucking good-for-nothing piece of fucking shit, apparently. Because being filth is the fucking most awesome thing whenever it's the holiday season, I reckon. But yes, since it is, the Nintendo Wii U and everything, and there are going to be parents out there who unfortunately can't afford $800 fucking dollars to be able to get their kid a console, and unfortunately have to go to work and can't sit out, I don't know, 4 fucking days straight outside of a store to be able to get their hands on one because they happen to be people and not maniacs and insane. Yes, that kind of stuff happens. It pisses me off to no fucking end. And granted, it is fucking old news and it does happen. But every time it does happen, it just seems to somehow revision it and making it new again. But nevertheless, pissing me the fuck off ever so much. So yeah, that's pretty much my entire thing. I fucking hate it. It happens over and over again, and there are assholes out there that try justifying it. Oh, and the other thing that they try justifying is, well, nobody's telling you to buy it, and nobody tells me to go fucking murder, but I still fucking feel like it anyway. And I'm AlphaOmegaSin, as you all know, and I'm pissed off, and I'm now gonna go and drink some iced tea because my throat's dry.
Not surprising after that fucking rant, lad.
And while you're at it, game the fuck on.
Take a breath. But just one thing I want to say about this whole thing. What happened to human decency during the holiday season?
Greed. Greed, the mighty dollar, getting something for next to nothing, buying something for $300, and then doubling your fucking profits. It's always nice getting something for basically nothing, but you do it at the expense of somebody that just wanted to be able to enjoy themselves and possibly buy it for their fucking child. That's the thing that sucks the most. I personally know people that are trying to get it for their fucking kids, and they can't. That fucking bites.
See, for me, it comes back to Nintendo. They should have had more of these fucking consoles made. They should just be available. That's my big thing. It's like these companies, and they do this shit on purpose. It's like, you guys know what the demand's going to be. You guys released the Wii, and it was the fucking same chaos. So you know exactly what you guys are doing. If you don't have enough of the consoles to put it out at that point in time, then don't fucking release it. But I feel that they know exactly what they're doing with this shit. They want to cause chaos. They want this. They want it to be crazy like this. It's ridiculous.
But I know
I can definitely see it as like a marketing ploy. And it does make sense from that kind of standpoint, is that Nintendo got to see, supply and demand. If you have a product that is already piquing interest and you lower the amount of supply, the demand will somehow quadruple.
Exactly.
Because everybody needs to have it, including the people that never wanted it to begin with.
If you can't get it, you automatically want it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The downside to it, the double-edged sword effect, comes into play where if those people that want it really bad can't get it, that means that you're going to have people buying it, then doubling the price, just like I got done fucking going and thrusting my manhood through, that's a potential sale that Nintendo lost out on.
That's it. Exactly. They'll just get it just because they know there's not very many, just to sell it for their own profits.
Pretty much. It bumps me out, just like seeing stuff like that. It happened with the PS3. I knew people that literally went out and bought 3 PS3s, and they were expensive, insanely expensive, and they went and fucking tossed them all onto eBay. It was the holiday season, why not? And they did the same thing with the Nintendo Wii. And, they always sat back going, ha 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 ha. those fucking chumps, and saying shit like that. And I would always try to be the person of, come on, man, do you really want to do that? And they're just like, well, when my pocket is filled with tons of money, yes. And that's the thing is it all just comes down to a person wants to have tons of cash, is kind of greedy at the moment. It fucking bites. It sucks. It blows. I fucking hate it and just puts me in a bad mood. And especially when you see an entire line of people who are waiting for the same thing and only 2 people walk in, they walk out with handfuls, and then the entire line swears up and down that they're going to kill those individuals.
It just makes me laugh at the fact that on a Thursday, you're toasting your fellow man, you're feeding them turkey, you're being thankful for different bits of shit, but then the day after you turn into rabid fucking wolves and just start buying shit and killing somebody for a game or killing somebody for this just to save $10 on a TV. It's fucking
well, shit, man.
Ridiculous.
Not this year. People weren't even there was a lot of people not even celebrating Thanksgiving because they were already out there fucking trampling the week so that they could go ahead and save that $30 on that random track phone that apparently fucking piqued their interest all of a sudden.
Well, they're all sat there just having turkey sandwiches for their turkey dinner this year. It's fucking nuts. It really is.
I remember getting my PS3, getting offered a shitload of money for it, and keeping it and playing it. Because I'm a gamer, I fucking play games. That's what they're for, Like, in retrospect, should I have probably sold it? Probably, because I was playing Resistance for about 4 fucking months before anything came out worth playing. But it was still sweet to say you had a PS3, and that just meant more than the money to me at the time. So
It still does now.
It still does.
It's always awesome to be there at the beginning of it, but you shouldn't have to take out a fucking house loan to be able to do it whenever the actual price of it isn't that much. Like, seriously, people, if you're listening to us right now, whenever it's all finished and said and done, just go on Craigslist and just look it up. Go on eBay, look it up. Look on Amazon. Every single one of those places, it's just a complete and utter fucking, it's like sharks that smell blood. It's so messed up. People going to Toys R Us, buying 5. What? Like 5 of them? You need fucking 5? I wish I had the disposable income to afford 5 just so I could try to go and make more money off of it.
Yeah.
Like, that shit just, it's absolutely amazing. I always just hope that somehow Nintendo be like, just kidding. We actually have tons more being shipped out right now as we speak. So all those people that bought a whole ton of them can't get rid of them. That's the only thing I ever hope for, so I can just point and fucking laugh.
That'd just be funny.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you know what? Fuck those people.
Yeah.
But Yell Chaos actually got his, so big ups to him.
Yeah.
I did. It was, I had to be all fucking sneaky about it, and Mrs. Yell Chaos said, maybe we should cover this with the jacket. In fact, I was talking to a good friend of myself and Sainted Magnus, Return to Mother Base from YouTube, and he was talking about some people that he had heard asked for alternate bags at Nintendo World because they were terrified to walk down the street with a Nintendo Wii U. Is that what we've come to? America, shit is up when the Hate Bit podcast has moral concerns about the way you compose yourselves.
Absolutely.
So there's that. It's a sad state of affairs, and when will this end? Probably never, right?
Never.
Yeah, never.
So long as there's some people out there that think that they can get by doing next to jack shit, or just profit majorly off of no work at all, then yeah, they'll do stuff like this.
Yeah.
At people's expense, so they don't really give a shit.
These guys are like the part-time garage sale guys,
Oh, God.
If you know all about that sort of thing. Anyway, we hate to end it right here on a down note, but we're going to anyway. You've just wasted another perfectly good chunk of your life listening to the Hate Bit podcast. We thank you for joining us. I'm Yell Chaos. Joining me as always, AlphaOmegaSin.
Thanks to all you beautiful motherfuckers tuning in. Also, happy Thanksgiving and unfortunately Black Friday, and we'll be seeing you motherfuckers next week.
Sainted Magnus.
Right, so that's one holiday covered. Let's bring on Christmas.
And my very good friend, Commodore of the 8-Bit Choo-Choo, Silent Rob.
Fuck Black Friday. It's called the internet. Use it, people. You don't even have to leave the house. I know Americans would love that. You don't even got to just bring the stuff to you. You don't even got to leave it. Go no.
Oh, I know.
I mean, you sit there. You know what I mean? Like they love
this
that
is
kind
the
of
country
shit.
that watches people play cards on television.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You don't even got to leave the house, people.
You'd probably sound like Anthony Michael Hall in Weird Science. Like, let me tell you something.
You can have any beer you like as long as it's a Corona.
Give me the keys. Give me the keys. I'll drive this goddamn car all the way home, you motherfuckers, you. I don't care about your goddamn radio program. Get these fucking headphones off me.
Dude, the weirdest scene in that movie was always when like both those dudes got in the shower with her or whatever. I was always like, what the fuck? I was like,
in your jeans. You know who that guy was?
Who was that?
That was Bennett from Commando.
Oh my god, it was. Oh my god, it totally was. I didn't even realize that.
The fucking outfit's like, I think they were trying to make him look like Tim Curry from Rocky Horror.
Dude, yeah.
Hate Bit Podcast.